Time to press record now, so anything we say will be archived and uploaded.
All right.
Balls.
So let me just play this Funimation
Damn
link
it, you
on
beat me
full
to
blast.
But seriously
damn
though, the voice actor for Goku, shit. He needs to calm down.
Sean Skimmel has surprised me
I
in a
knew
lot
it.
of ways.
It wasn't Chris Sabat because someone's like, "Oh, it's Chris Sabat." It's like, no, that's not Chris Sabat. Is fucking Vegeta.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's like, "Oh, well, he said he went in
Well,
hard with it."
a lot of fangirls have material for Yamcha if they actually like him.
They like bottoms.
Yes, some girls actually do like bottoms.
Bell bottoms. That's crazy.
Apple bottom jeans.
Bell bottoms are very interesting.
And bottom bitches. If no one was gonna say it, I was gonna. Yeah, I'm just a bitch.
Dang, man.
You know it. I know
tries.
it. Vic
Come on.
knows it. Well, okay. You say try. Try is a strong word for
Listen,
Yamcha.
he went to go do something kind of useful with his life.
He did.
You mean a career that he lost it anyways?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he still tried.
Prove me.
That counts for something.
No.
That's part of his determination.
Okay.
And if that doesn't mean anything, well then.
I have
some
my
people to
book for
apologize
notes ready.
All right. So you're all down here at the bottom of the stairwell, still
Squid Kid.
in this. Still in this white room. Completely white, save for the broken open sarcophagus in the middle of the room, surrounded by 4 pillars, each with various markings engraved on them, and a moderate amount of dead bodies all around the center where the sarcophagus lies. And there are bloodied footsteps leading into a doorway that is slowly, ever so slowly creaking open, revealing a very dark interior until it is fully open. And inside you see that there is a laboratory with lights all aflicker. It doesn't look like there's a stable light in anything that you can see going down, and a light source may be needed in order to actually see much of anything, as it is borderline pitch black in there. But
flashlight.
So, those of you with the dark vision, which I think is only Zaleth,
Me.
yeah, and Johnny, but he doesn't count for this. You give me that perception, please.
Oh boy. Tum tum tum.
Also, was there supposed to be music to playing?
There should have been.
There it
you
is.
hear now? There you go.
Why does it make me think about Devil May Cry Originals OST?
Don't question where I got this stuff. Question where I got this stuff.
Give me my information. My information. I can't talk.
Your orientation?
Give me
Your
my
origami?
orientation.
Your salami?
Give me my orientation about salami being turned into origami.
So, Zaleth, as you and Johnny are peering down the corridors, the two of you are the only ones who can really see anything in that room. What you see within is what looks like the remnants of a laboratory. Various things are broken now, so it's not much of one. But from what you can see, the walls are of this very ancient looking stonework. The rooms themselves are littered in dried blood, just splattered here and there, and what looks like it used to be pools. There is a laboratory set with its own little table set off to one side, and it looks like it may still be functional from what you can see. But a little bit further down, you can see something. It's not as readily apparent as everything else in the room. But you see what looks to be a figure wandering deeper in a very unstable manner. It looks like they're just staggering deeper into the room ahead.
Hey guys.
Yes. How can I help you? Trying to just look around.
I'm gonna point at the room. Besides it being a blood pool, there's someone in there.
Candyland.
And they look unstable. And they're walking away. What do you guys want to do?
Look, I try to... Wait, so the only ones I can see right now are
Zale and Johnny.
I kind of shrug in the dark. Well, your guess is...
Well, you're in the light right now.
Oh.
We're in the light, but the next room is dark.
Pitch black.
As I look over to Zale. I mean, we could try to shoot fire.
Didn't you learn your lesson last time when we killed 2 innocent goblins?
See, you say learn, I say intimidate. 2 different statements.
Oh my god. Renee, what do you think?
Oh. Renee? Did you fall asleep?
Did you not devour the energy of all those around you?
Maybe a little. What's up?
Did you hear anything we said?
Kinda.
So no.
I told you guys, besides the bloodbath in the other room, there's a shadowy figure walking away, and he looks very unstable. What should we do? And Vince said that he wanted to go guns a-blazing.
No, I said for you to at least light the room on fire.
Oh no. I'm not gonna light that room on fire. There's chemicals in there.
Can't you do precision like fire or whatever with your cheesy moves?
What if I hit the guy? Or girl, whatever it is.
See,
I mean, it could be a thing that we have to get rid of.
See, at least Johnny's making a valid point, and I'm just saying, everything that has wiggle till now has been the undead.
What happened to you being Mr. Stealth?
See, listen, that's been thrown out the window since I pretend to look at my watch. A while now. I've been wanting to do some stuff with backstabbing someone in the back of the head, but that's been kind of thrown out the window because the greater percent of the times we've tried, only one time has ever worked.
Vic, Renee, what do you think?
It seems like a problem that we should address, but I think we should be cautious.
Hey, DM, how far is he from me?
Which direction, by the way?
So from the room, you can see in basically through here, and you can see the figure going around the corner.
Damn it, he's too out of my sight. Well, I can't use Death Watch to figure out whether he's dead or not. He's
'Cause
too
you are-
far.
We're currently here in the center next to the sarcophagus and surrounded by the pillars that have the
Yeah.
various markings on them.
Yeah, my Death Watch is only 30 feet, so.
Hmm.
Johnny goes around the room, rummaging through the dead bodies.
Johnny, if you find any bullets, can you toss me some my way?
Yeah, if I find any.
Cool. Also, mysterious clues, please show to the class instead of keeping in pockets.
I mean, I don't have any anymore, as he just kind of motions with the fact that he's still fairly in the buff.
I'm gonna look at him with horror. Oh my god, you're naked.
I've been naked for a while now.
Don't worry,
How
Harvey.
indecent.
Don't
You
worry,
know
Harvey.
what?
We won't judge you.
I am not your Birdman. You need to stop. As he's rummaging around, he's actually taking some of the clothing from some of these bodies.
Are you stealing people's pants?
It's not like they need it.
I mean, valid point, but now Zayla has more excuse that you can be a pants burglar.
I'll deal with it.
I'm just gonna like mock him. I'm like, Sarah's gonna be mad at you because you were naked.
I mean,
So would Mama Bear.
no one's gonna be mad at me about being. Nobody can even see this, as he points to all of his feathers covering his body.
Apparently,
Gee.
we can't see.
No.
I mean, see, we can't see any flippin' giblets.
See, there's no indecent exposure, so I am not in the wrong. Now let me get these pants.
As I whisper over to
Uh.
Zayla, as long as you don't ask for the bits.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Can I stick my head in a little bit of the doorway to just
You have to be right here, but yes, if you want to.
hold on, I gotta remember how to move. Whoppa.
Alright, give me stealth.
Oh boy!
It's not my thing, but we will try because I invested some points in here.
Snap.
Wait.
And yeah.
Eee! Wait, I don't have my book. Okay, I have my book.
Alright. So, leaning around the corner, through the doorway, just a bit, peeking your head through, seeing this room, you can see that there are various tables that look like they have tattered documents on them. Some look still intact, but from where you are right now, they're unreadable. And there is still the laboratory set off in a corner on its own little table that now, from this more pushed in viewpoint, you can see that it looks to be the only thing in that room that looks like it's still intact. There are claw marks on the walls. There are various things leaking from the ceilings. In fact, something drops on your head. You pat your head, feeling for the spot,
Gross.
and from your hand there is this very sticky liquid that is of a purple variety. But as you peer through, you can also see that the individual that was walking away has furthered. You can't really see their shadow, as it is very dark in here, and there's no light casting anything, but you can hear the footsteps continue as they continue one by one into the
Do
next
they
room.
sound like heavy or do they sound like light footsteps?
They are heavy thuds slapping against the marbled floor.
I'm gonna turn back to the group. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not human.
See, this is why we're in a magical we're in a basement of a sentient building, mansion, whatever. filled with mystic and wonder and Kentucky Fried Chicken over here.
How dare you, as he's wiggling into a pair of jeans.
I'm gonna scrape some of the purple off to look at it.
Well, I mean, it's on your hand.
Well, okay, well, I'm gonna walk over to Renee and ask her if she.
Please
seen
hold that
something
she's
like this.
BRBing right now.
Okay. Well, I wanted to show Renee and then you guys, like, at a time, so that way you guys can get a good look at it.
Did you get Telly Custard on your head?
What?
Wait, what?
Oh, am I that old?
I don't know what that is.
Telly Custard?
I
don't know.
do, but Johnny
Wait.
doesn't.
Oh, hold on. Well, I mean, I'm curious, like,
You're curious about Telly Custard? We can tell you.
what is Telly Custard?
Wait, out of character or in character?
Out of character. I got an actress.
Wait. Okay, so what Telly Custard is what in Teletubbies, there's this custard that the Teletubbies would have.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
But okay, my context with it was once upon a time ago, Burger King used to advertise that they were selling the Teletubby Telly Custard. And I had some of it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? It's just pudding." Or, I forgot what it was. It was pudding or something weird, but it was just off-colored.
It was Tinky Winky's big day off.
No, you're dead to me now. You know what? I was half expecting that answer coming from Vince's mouth, but he didn't say that.
I only covered it with "uh-oh."
No.
Oh my goodness.
Opening the door. Oh.
But as both you and Johnny see the liquid, you can also see that it is sticking very much to Zaelith's fingers as she tries to pry them apart, and the gel looks very very kind of globbed on. It's not really like a smooth kind of gel. It's just kind of matted into the place. And it has a purple sheen to it, as well as these very bright little sparkles to it.
Right.
Shimmering in the light.
Shining, shimmering splendor?
Splendor.
My beautiful hair.
Yeah, that's in your hair.
Oh.
There's like a splotch that you can see on top of Zayla's head. It's
I mean-
very apparent.
I mean, to be fair, Zaelith, I think at this point, well, wait, I think about it. Wait, how long since we've had a bath?
I can firmly say that for however long it's felt like weeks.
We all stank.
So, I mean, Johnny looks underneath his arm with his beak, and he sniffs, and looks back up to you. Not really, for some reason.
I too am also gonna smell myself.
As you do, you smell fine. You don't smell like daisies, but you don't smell like hot garbage either.
I just look over at Vince and just give him a shrug.
Okay, first off, I
Smell
am
fine.
shaking my head for you to purposely just smell your pits right in front of me. That's weird. That's kind
Hey, I mean, you said we stink, and I prove we don't. So I think it's a win.
I'm gonna turn to Johnny and be like, "Yeah, half five," with like the sticky hand up.
He goes up, and then he just raises it back. He lowers it back down. No, I'm good.
I just point out, she's gonna try to do it eventually, or try to be hug.
That's not even cool. Don't even joke about that. I don't even know if that'll stick to these feathers.
I look over at Zaelith. Zaelith?
Yes.
Why? What are you? What are your thoughts about the situation just now?
I think Johnny
Uh-huh.
hasn't given me a hug in a long time.
And you know, whenever you get that stuff off of you, I will fix that. Yep.
I just want to see if it sticks.
Yeah, you could try the dead body.
I don't want a dead body.
Touch the dead body.
I
Just
looked,
touch it.
I looked at Johnny. Did you at least confirm they're legit dead instead of the undead?
As far as I can tell, I've been rolling them over and I've been
I don't want to fight naked
anything
zombies.
worming around inside. But there's only one other way to check, and you're not gonna like it.
I mean, I'd pull out my knife.
As he
I've done it before.
Actually, we'll just roll this. As he goes over towards one of the bodies and he kneels down. Yeah, we'll just do that one.
Oh wow.
And he pierces through it and just reaches his hand inside.
Huh.
And he gets a feeling for something. And as he reaches it out, clean.
Huh.
You know, I could have done a lot easier way than you sticking your hand in a dead body.
I mean, it's the easiest way.
See, and now
No,
both of you
it's
can do a
not.
proper
I
hand
have-
high five.
No, I don't want to give him a high five.
You want that hug? Come here.
No.
It just wipes the bloodied hand on the jacket of one of the other dead bodies.
Disgusting.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna just investigate this pillar over here.
For that, give me
Mm-hmm.
Arcana.
Damn it.
Knowledge Arcana. If you have it.
No.
Or Spellcraft. If you have it.
No. I don't have any of those available, my friend.
Can I
No
also
ranks?
inspect them?
0.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 1 in spellcraft.
So you
but
said
Is it a rank or is it just because of your modifier?
Let's go with that. Yeah.
you said Arcana, right?
Yeah, Arcana or Spellcraft.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So while you're kind of examining it, Zalith was schooled in this from a very young age. No,
Get on my level.
get on my level, squirm. Hat flipped backwards. His sunglasses.
Oh my
baggy
god,
pants.
that's baby Zelith. Like her pants are baggy, they're ripped, and she's wearing her shirt, like a baggy shirt that's rolled up the sleeves and a hat back, trying to be cool.
And doing
Oh,
the little
no.
hand gesture, like hands out together, kind of like you're crossing your hands a little, like yo.
welcome to Baby Hoodlums. Gosh darn it.
What is the weird things?
So the weird things, as you put it, as you examine them, your mind flicks through a memory of a time in which you were being forced to study in your father's library, and a book on ritual summoning. You recall that this marking is similar to one needed to summon a demonic force. And from the make of it, it looks like it was a form of sealing, or unraveling a certain sealing. And it's on each pillar. There's another symbol from that book that you've seen, as they all line in the center. And as you look down towards the ground, you can see that there are, although the blood points are a bit mismatched and tossed together and jumbled a bit, you can see that there are lines that are connecting from the pillars to the sarcophagus. Indicating that whatever they were unsealing, very successful and got out. And from the number of dead bodies, all of which are wearing either dark clothing or robes, they're all dead.
Well, didn't know your boss was in an occult, Vincent.
Listen, I didn't even know my boss was with these people. Wait, but yeah. I mess with my hair a little.
Roll me perception, all of you.
Roll initiative.
Then roll me
Fuck.
initiative, all of you. Oh, okay.
I'm jinxing myself. I'm gonna get like a really bad roll
Yep,
when
I'm
it
waiting
comes
for
to
it, and I get to laugh at you whenever it happens. I'm waiting.
It's not bad unless you get something equivalent to a 1 twice. Or 3 times. If you get 3 ones, there's some bad juju coming your way.
I mean, I've been very like, yeah, that's coming. I know it's coming.
You'll be fine.
But wouldn't we have to wait for Vic to come back so she can roll perception?
Yes.
Or take over for her and roll for her.
No!
What?
But I will roll for Johnny, as I will explain once Vic comes back what all of you see as you're in this room and staring at these bodies.
Yeah,
Something that you
whenever
may have-
Vic gets back, I would also like to tell you about the crafting table. The crafting table. What am I in Minecraft?
Yes.
So today's video about my Minecraft server. You're all getting banned if you don't leave a like if you're a part of Axer 833's server.
Gosh, darn it.
What if someone actually has their server named that?
Well, hello. Apparently you took time to watch a dead channel's fucking old recording.
They're not dead in my heart.
But I'm on the inside.
Oh my god.
Not
everyone's
on
dead.
my
I
heart.
see dead people.
I mean, technical sense says Johnny would be slightly then.
I mean-
I want to look at Johnny and say, I see dead people. While giving him like this horrified stare.
Is it weird?
What's wrong with
Like,
you?
I just randomly thought of her just like going up to him and then having chicken in her mouth, and like she takes a bite and then she looks back at him and is like, I see dead chicken, and proceeds to eat it.
Oh,
Proceeds to eat the chicken.
cut to Johnny just walking away. Thoroughly not pleased.
Thoroughly offended now that he is now bird.
Yes. I mean, it's still very new. And very old. Well, I guess new to him because he is practically ancient.
Uh-huh.
Once you've been a dark elf for like 100+ years, and then apparently you're now part. I mean, not dark elf. Once you're a drow, and now you're of the Baka family.
See, that joke was there.
I was waiting for that to happen.
I'm so glad. But it just it's obvious that you're gonna enjoy chickens. Oh
Hey.
no.
I wanna go out in the street and have a Star Wars fight. Let's do that.
It's not gonna end up the way that you think. That
Let's see
meme.
who gets a black eye because someone's lightsaber slipped out of their hand.
Yeah, that's the more likely
You
thing to
know what's the
happen.
funny thing? I actually did that. I did that at a young age. And
I
You
think
gave
we
someone
remember
a
this
black
story.
eye?
yes. No, there's a different story. That one, I think I gave someone almost a black eye, but I almost took out their eye with a rock with a slingshot. I think I told that story.
Mm-hmm.
I've told so many of those terrible stories. I didn't tell the story about whenever I threw rocks at my grandma because she wanted to beat my ass.
Wow.
You are the epitome of a rebel.
At a young age, and then I shaped up whenever someone called me a bad word, and I was like,
You shaped up? When?
That's cool. I'm
fuck,
offended and I didn't even get that.
fuck.
At least you're not throwing rocks at old people now.
I threw it whenever I was like 6.
That's why I said at least you're not throwing rocks at old people now.
Yeah.
Jeez, Vincent.
Now I use BB guns.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So much
Yeah.
better.
Wait, damn it. Damn it, stupid gun.
I was just hoping that you weren't aiming it at yourself the entire time
I'll
that I
fix
heard
it.
that thing cocking. No, please.
You know what's the weird part? I think it shot more than one BB at that time.
Yes, and you would probably be in a lot of pain at the moment if
I
my
mean, think
thought
of it
process
like
is
a
right.
baby version of a shotgun with BBs.
Point blank in your head. That's really bad. It's really bad.
I
Vincent,
remember
stop
when
playing.
we were all, me and my sister, and we're younger, with one of my mom's ex-boyfriends and his kids. We all shot ourselves in the hand to see if it hurt. It hurt.
Did it? I'm gonna check.
No.
What?
Well, I mean, it might not hurt you now, but when I was little, it hurt.
I mean,
And I cried.
I think it would have happened anyway, so here we go. Ow! Oh shit, that hurt. That actually hurt.
Oh, yeah, now your head's gonna swell and bruise.
Oh
my God.
You do these stupid things.
Is that bad?
Don't you dare say for exposure.
First off, you say more exposure than anyone else. Second off, I was gonna make the joke of, is it? Oh, it left a bruise actually.
I'm telling you, it's gonna bruise and swell up.
Vincent, why do you do these things?
If I said I was a masochist, would anyone tell Vic on me?
Haven't you already openly said this though? Yes.
No comment.
Repeatedly during streams while we played E EDF.
So hey, Deadly Premonition 2 is gonna come out, so I gotta play Deadly Premonition 1 now.
Yeah, you masochist.
I mean, look at the positive.
Okay.
It's only red.
It's gonna bruise later.
Wait a minute.
My body's a bruise, to be fair. Like my right knuckle has a scar, because someone swung down and cut my knuckle open. I told that.
Gosh darn it, Vincent.
What? I have scars everywhere.
Did you cover wars?
No. But I've let Zero's cut me before with a samurai sword.
There's so many things. There's just this very rich history. It's very rich and it's very wonderful.
Because it literally keeps me interesting. Because I can tell these stories and these are all true because I still know the people in these fucking stories. I either know I either am still in contact with the people or I have the scars to show.
I'll just dial up Zero real quick. Hey, Zero, I need to borrow the katana.
That was
Just
my
out of
katana.
nowhere.
I ended up owning two display katanas and 3 to 4 wooden swords, but Zero and 2 other friends would use them to play fight with them to really hard to the point where the swords would break. Because Zero swings. That fool doesn't know how to hold back. He just swings, and we just all swing, and then we broke him. And then I just was like, alright.
You guys ever had a mosh pit together?
No, but I've purposely tripped my friend while we were waiting for the bus because it was funny.
Gosh,
Wow.
darn it, Vincent.
Hey, to be
Remind me
fair.
to never go visit you.
Okay, to be
I'm
fair.
gonna text Sakura and be like, hey, I'm under a bus because, you know, he thought it was funny.
No, it wasn't.
How are you gonna text me underneath the bus?
Just chilling on the floor.
To be fair, he was doing it to me, but he was enjoying being tripped, I guess. I don't know. It was weird. Listen, the high
So, in
school
fact-
is filled with nut shots and tripping and a lot of me falling on my face because I have bent feet. So
Mhm.
whenever it was raining or snowing, which there's a rare chance, but it happened like twice in my life whenever I was in high school, I've slipped and gotten mud all over my pants. I was very mad. 3 times actually, because of 4. Every time I kind of try to run fast while it's wet ground. I'm gonna shoot myself with a BB gun. Don't worry, put it away. For now.
Something dark side.
Exactly. Why is Vic gone for so long?
Did she fall asleep?
Did you fall asleep?
I don't know. She said be right back. Other than originally it was MRN. Please hold as I'm gonna sneak.
I'd say you should call
Solid snake
her.
this.
If she answers, you gotta talk like Snake. You mean like Commander.
Colonel. This is Snake. Naomi. You got that ass for days.
Dummy thick.
Damn thick. Every time I hear you walk, my hand wants to go.
Oh my god.
Gosh, darn it.
I want to opt out of this conversation.
I mean, to be fair, there was a time I would leave Sakura messages of, I'm making mac and cheese, and nobody can stop me.
Oh my god, why?
Because it's funny. It's either that or the cry calling Russ, and he's like, and leaving messages like, I'm making hot dogs.
Chili hot dogs and macaroni. The best way to end it all.
I mean, at least I didn't do the bees thing where she's going, bye, 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 bye. I don't know where it's at. Did you know Cryonic's voice is in River City Girls?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's why I spent $30 on it. Even though I was telling myself I should save, but boop. And it's already past 2 hours, so I can't refund it. I'm proud of my life choices. But, because, trying to think.
So my sister went to go eat at Olive Garden, and I told her jokingly to bring me breadsticks, and she actually brought me breadsticks.
But that's the weak stuff. Why? Where's the cheddar biscuit? She should have just went to the better, superior place. I need the cheddar biscuits.
Because she just went to Olive Garden. I can't
I
tell you
don't
why
care. Give me cheddar biscuits.
Your lobster? Is that where that's from?
I think so. Yeah. Wait, let me double check.
I think that's where they're from, but I'm not. I don't remember correctly.
I thought it was Applebee's.
Apple, but no. I got some soda.
See, I envy that because Vic's like wanting me to not. Wait, where
I
is
just... I decided
Mhm.
against my better judgment.
Red Lobster. It is Red Lobster. Yeah.
to finish that video, and I'm upset that I decided against my better judgment to finish that video. I am thoroughly displeased with my ears. I must cleanse them. I must cleanse them.
I mean, we're listening to the music in this background while we wait for Vic.
I must cleanse. I need closure.
Most in the Yamcha gets sodomized.
I don't want to.
So,
Yes.
this is what you are right now, Sakura,
I need.
with the Funimation voice actors.
I need. Yes. Yes. I need to just cleanse my ear palette with sounds that make sense to me.
1,000 screaming birds.
Well, you got the screaming part right.
Undertale.
Why am I hearing Undertale?
Because you can.
This makes sense to me.
I'm aggressively
Ah.
popping.
Don't do it. You'll hit your head on the table. Now I
No,
feel
just
like,
exercise your determination.
but I can exercise my determination by banging my head on the table.
No, no, you're not. You're not
Do
that meme.
it.
You're not that Midoriya
Do
meme.
it.
You're not that Midoriya meme.
Not good.
It's a really bad thing.
The eat it meme?
The Midoriya meme where he's aggressively banging his head into the table.
Oh, okay, yeah. I immediately thought when he turned his face into All Might and said eat it.
What?
When he they talked to, oh, there she goes.
You've lost Vic.
When they
Or
talked
Pete.
about, I gotta find it.
Show me,
Oh.
show me, show me.
Give me a second.
Oh.
Maybe she had to restart her thingy.
No, she's in AFK right now.
Carousel.
What?
And yes.
So
Did you-
we discovered Parasol. Sorry, I had to press record again. Because I paused it because of all of our shenanigans, and I was like, wait, I need to
We
actually make
discovered
space.
Parasol.
Yes. You discovered Parasol, a member of Parasol, here on the floor. And looking around, you go through all the bodies and you see that all but, oh, actually, only 2 of them are Parasol. The others are from another company that you've never really heard of until now, called Velvet Industries. Vincent, however, give me, if you have it, either knowledge history or knowledge local.
Please hold as I look through.
Or knowledge geography.
I have none of
Or
those
just your
checked.
soul.
I only have knowledge dungeoneering.
Do you have a 1 in any of the ones that I just mentioned?
I have a 1 in all of them.
No, I meant like a point that you've put in one of them.
No.
Okay. Never mind then.
Because I'm looking at them right now, all of them keep saying 1.
Zales, do you have any?
Do I have any in which one?
Knowledge, geography, local, or history?
I'm
Any of-
stupid. I'm
Let
just staring
me
at this
check.
wall.
Okay.
Wait,
You're
I
not
have
plenty.
2 in geography for some reason.
I have.
Roll me.
Okay. I have 2 in history and 1 in nature.
Wait, can someone explain how do I have 2 in geography and how did I get a nat 20?
Ah,
Not nat 20,
Well, at
but you
least
did get a
20.
20.
I got a 20.
Because it's possible. I mean, you're rolling a d20, and you can get a 20
Huh.
very easily.
Yay, I did it.
You did.
Vic would be proud. What are you eating?
Veggie pizza.
Oh, okay.
It's bad, and I know it's bad, and I shouldn't be at all whatsoever.
Oh, it's bad for you.
Cheese. Can't have cheese at all.
Ah.
maybe you shouldn't eat it.
No, I have 3 slices. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Your statement is invalid. I'm sorry. It's going in my belly.
It's going in.
It's gonna probably come back out. Please hold.
Or I'm making my chest seize up a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's
That's
okay.
the scarier half
Anyhow,
of this.
so, and, Zayla, did you have it or not?
Which ones were you asking for specifically?
Geography, history, and local.
I have some in history. Like 2.
Roll it
Okay.
to see if you know as well.
Did it roll?
No,
Oh,
wait.
there it
There
goes.
you go.
22.
Okay. So, Vincent,
Yes.
you would
What's his
know.
name now?
You would know Paracel from the various locations you and your squad had visited in your, well, roundabouts here in Atom City when you were just making a lay of the land and getting prepared for all that was about to happen. However, one place in particular that you happened upon many times was the Velvet Industries, as you saw a lot of comings and goings from Paracel's various delivery vehicles in and out of Velvet Industries whenever you were scouting around the area. And Zalith, you would know them as on multiple occasions. You and the gang have gotten some ill-begotten gains in the form of shiny new toys and sometimes weaponry, depending on how Randy Zippy felt at the time and how willing he was to steal from some large company that he probably shouldn't have. And you've seen, or at least
Randy?
heard from, yeah, whenever you don't know what the word Randy means? Oh no. It's just another terminology for excited, I guess, to put it simply.
Okay.
Ready to go in the gear of action. Whenever the flight of fancy took hold of his heart, which is all the time when it comes to Zippy. Not so much Speedy though, which is funny. As you think about it, you remember the times in which you've seen the two at each other's throats as the two of them, albeit brothers, were very estranged with one another. But you've seen on many occasions, or at least heard on many occasions from Ursa of her time served there at Velvet Industries. And so you know about it, the majority of it, from her, as it was a weapons, a business in the weapons industry, and one that's been making profits worldwide through various means, some not as legal as others. And you know it almost too well, as it is one of the reasons that Squeaks lost one of her eyes. Replaced it with a cybernetic one, but lost it nonetheless. And these are memories that flow freely back into the both of you as you look upon these logos and these insignias. almost as
slowly.
if you should have known them from the get-go, but they're only just now coming back to you.
Damn amnesia.
Oh, it gets deeper. The darkest descent.
Stop. It's giving me anxiety. There's
You
my
should
heart
have
attack.
Oh no.
Heart attack died.
Game over. Yeah.
I haven't even gotten to that creature that's always stumbling around the darkness trying to kill people.
Don't worry, I got my gun.
I knew it.
Makes the bad people go away.
What if the bad people aren't people?
I'll make them go away. You think I won't? I will. I figure out a way. I've done it
believe you.
before. I've punched the imaginary version of the captain. I don't give a fuck.
I
The
love
only-
how that's the thing.
Dangerous man.
He's a bad man.
I've swung and I felt it, even if it wasn't real. I felt it through my knuckles.
What you felt was real. You don't know if it was actually the captain. What you felt was it connected with something.
Oh my god, if you die in the game, you're gonna die in real life.
Well, time to kill off Johnny.
Wait, what?
No.
All this time he was being played by a real person. You never knew. It wasn't me. It was someone else.
And then just enters someone that joins the call. And it was actually Irvin. He goes, oof.
No, I was waiting for Zero to just pop in randomly because he's done that before, and I was just be like, "Aha! Now you see the man behind the curtain." Zero.
See, that requires Zero to actually have timing.
He sometimes has it. I've seen him. I'm also tormenting Hope with the smell of these pizza slices, so I have to eat.
You monster.
I know. But she torments me by chewing at the bars of her cage like they're some form of food all throughout the night. To the point where I have to crank up music and almost go deaf. Hamster days. Because she's actually strength training now. As she's picking up a food log that I've put in there for her, which is like about the size of a small, like a 5-foot sub, but a little smaller than that. It's like a log though.
You say Zero's
And-
stream's done, it's still going on.
You say what?
Oh, sorry. Something unrelated to the conversation.
Oh my goodness. But she's been picking up the log with her mouth and then lifting it and lowering it and lifting it and lowering it and
But
moving
she
it
do
around
what
her
she
cage.
want. She a dreamer.
Be afraid.
She's been
Very
exercising. I don't understand. Now she's lifting weights. It's like I don't even know her anymore.
She's trying to figure out the proper escape. She's already started.
First it was the ceiling crawling. Now it's the weightlifting. What next?
She is trying to
She's
become a
ceiling
Ninja
crawling?
Turtle.
she's gonna escape one day, and then she's gonna realize that there's nowhere to go, and she's just gonna be like right next to me when I wake up. I'm just like, oh jeez.
And you're gonna panic, but then you're like, why? And then she's just gonna flex on you and be like, get me more food. And you're like, I don't have money. Get food.
No, see, then she's gonna look at me very blankly and then immediately crawl off of the bed and then rummage around the room and get into something that's probably dangerous because there's various stupid stinking roaches that squeeze in through the cracks in my floor.
Don't worry,
She says,
she'll eat them.
nutrients.
She eats the roaches.
She can actually eat the roaches, though.
She could.
Yeah.
She'll eat anything in front of her, so it's not impossible, but
And also, the certain vermin actually would eat bugs to sustain nutrients. Yeah. So
Gosh, dang it.
it wouldn't be a surprise if you find Hope with a bunch of crumbs of a bug. I'm just warning you now. That's a real thing.
as we speak, she is currently climbing the ceiling. I just have Mission Impossible music playing in my head. And there she fell.
Oh, fell, now I think of the game over for Metal Gear.
Snake? Answer me! Snake! 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 What? Hi.
I just imagine, like,
Oh my
of all
god,
the
Hope with
things.
Snake's voice.
Yes.
Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. Colonel? Snake, where have you been? Colonel, I've been stuck in this cage for a while. Snake, you have to stop the new Metal Gear. But the brand is lost. Konami gave that all up. For pachinko machines. I know. That's the new Metal Gear, Snake. Oh my god. Metal Gear Pachink.
That's never gonna sell well. That ain't ever gonna sell well.
But it's in your mind, isn't it?
Yes, I just see a pachinko machine just turn into the president.
But then... and then the better president appears out of nowhere, kicking Trump out of office and like... This
turning
is your
everybody into
spot.
cyborgs.
It's because I am the president of the United States of America.
I never understood that, man.
Michael! Richard! I love chaos. What are we doing?
Okay, so it's... I was just letting you know the little back stuff, right? Because...
covered in different shenanigans, right?
Yes, but it was just little backstory stuff.
Okay. So...
Because,
Did Johnny also see this or no?
you don't know what Johnny saw. You just, see him
Johnny,
kind of...
do you see what I see?
He looks over to the logos that you're very blatantly pointing at. And he nods to you.
I tap at the wall. I think this is a little bit more serious if there's another associated organization a part of Parasol, no less.
Yeah, we know that. We know about it.
I mean, they've been with him for a long time at this point.
Wait, what? Aren't you guys like kids that don't do stuff?
Dude, how old do you think we are?
Mentally or
Like,
physically?
seriously, how old do you think we are?
I don't want him to answer either of those questions.
Oh, I was gonna say 5, but okay, changing subject.
Dude, we're not
Listen.
little kids.
You say that, but it's a strong. That's a strong statement.
We
to say.
just have fun, man. We just have fun. More fun than it seems you have. Even though you've
Yeah.
joined us on our level on many an occasion.
It's
We have a
because
buddy who worked there. Right? You said she worked there? Let me look at my notes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Chris is an ex employee of Velvet.
well, outside of that, we have association. So, good news, bad news. Mostly bad news, because your friend might have also been a part of an evil organization. As I make a little hand
What?
gestures. Surprise!
Oh. That wasn't bad.
I don't question any of the prior histories of the people that I run with. As he just kind of looks to you. We all did things.
We
I mean-
accepted people the way they were.
Valid point, but let's also try to stop the people that are trying to do quote unquote. I look at the dead bodies, whatever they just summoned here, either it be Cthulhu or otherwise. Wait, would I have knowledge of
Bodies hit the
Cthulhu?
floor. Let the
No.
bodies hit the floor.
If they would summon something equivalent to Barney the dinosaur. There you go.
Yeah, that works.
Barney is a dinosaur.
Oh no.
The Shan is
That
just.
moment, Johnny
"Oh,
really, he made a mistake of just accepting everyone into his group.
I'm sorry to say that we're kicking you out of the clubhouse. We're
You're
kicking you off
not
the
the
island.
boss of me. I'm telling Ursa.
I'm telling Ursa that you like Barney.
You wouldn't.
I would.
As I just put my hand on the pillar. Well, for now, all we know is every time we at least connect something to either Parasol and now Velvet, now, well, we didn't really found anything other than free pants for Johnny, so that's a good thing. He gets to hide his bits for a while.
I just need the pants. Like I don't need much else, and I think it's better
You
this way.
filthy, filthy hussy.
How dare you? What? What? They're good jeans. Look at these.
I'm talking about when you were naked.
He got. I make a remark. He got him from Macy's.
You take that back as he looks over to you.
Fine.
Take that back.
Tarjay, do you want to feel better about this?
I want to feel like whoever these pants belong to does not deserve this. Well, maybe they do, but I don't deserve this, and that's the important part.
They probably got him at Hot Topic.
All right, I'm getting them off again. That's it. That's
Johnny,
You put
just
them
keep the
back
pants
on,
on.
hussy.
Taking the pants off. Can't stop me. Nobody can stop me. I'm taking the pants off.
How about
We
the whole
just-
thing that you're literally, we got to proceed forward.
Yeah, and I'm gonna proceed forward, all natural.
Johnny, I swear
As
to
he
God.
just throws the pants to the side. Both of you did this.
I'm
Both of you did this.
I
gonna
only gave a
looking
random-
disgust. You better hope Ursa's not alive. She's gonna kick your ass.
Listen, she can't complain either. All right,
Johnny,
she's
I-
done worse
Gosh.
when under the influence.
Listen, we don't talk about under the influence, Ursa.
But we will never forget that Christmas party. I have scars. See, scars.
Even Speedy was scarred.
No, actual scars. She threw me through a window.
As I'm like, Johnny, wouldn't it just make sense to wear the pants so you have actual pockets?
I'm getting this guy's pants then as he goes over to one person that looks like they look like military pants. They look like they're wearing bits and remnants of a military outfit. Their whole torso is like ripped open, like something ripped their rib cage apart.
Where would
their
that
pants-
be?
The one next to Renee.
Okay.
You know, now I just imagine Ursa lifting up Johnny and yelling, "I am the man!" and then throwing him out.
While naked, yes.
So while
Then-
Johnny's at least going for the pants, I'm gonna go up since he kind of brought that up, and check to see if there's anything like dog tags or otherwise, because normally even.
Well,
personal
you're thankful at
units-
least that he's wearing underwear, because Giant just rips those things off and he's putting on the pants now. But this guy,
Have you no shame?
I once had it.
Johnny,
Once upon a time.
just check his pockets if there's any ammunition or otherwise, because if this guy's. Any
You mean
type
like
of
this? As he pulls out a clip, a little magazine to what looks like a pistol.
I will gladly take that. Thank you.
Just tosses it your way. Sure.
Neat. As I pocket that. How much is that? That's like.
That's 10 whole butt or 15 whole butt.
Oh boy!
Oh well,
Oh yeah.
it's me.
It's
Mario.
me, Death.
Why did we all go Mario?
No,
Oh.
Vincent went deaf.
Well, you went deaf.
Literally, I shot out Goblin's kneecaps. If you really want to call me Mario, well, he has some
mean-
small innocent turtles.
What he's done to Goombas and Turtles, you might as well be Mario, if not a little bit better, actually. But I will say that the guy on the ground does have. It doesn't look like he has so much as dog tags as they are these holographic insignias on a little chain necklace. It looks kind of like a dog tag in shape, but it emanates the holographic, and on the holographic you can see that rather than unit numbers and things of that nature, it's one thing is an icon of velvet, and then A2 is on the other side of it.
Hmm. Would I have any knowledge with the type of branching system, since it seems like he might be private military?
You may. You may.
I'm a child.
I know. Tell me something new.
But you're gonna have to give me that good old fashioned, you know what I'm about to say, geography.
I'll take it.
See if you can restart that good old fashioned memory of yours.
Nope.
No. Some like there's white fuzz in the back of your head, as if you're trying to remember something should have taken place, but you have no idea what. It's just a very loud, high-pitched buzz that makes you double over for a moment, but then it goes away.
Is it coming from the dog tag, or I mean, from the parent tags?
Oh, I thought that was you pretending you fell over. I was like, wow, that was some really good getting into it.
He didn't commit to the role enough, so I helped him. That was.
Gosh darn it.
It's less so from the items and more so from just you trying to remember.
Oh, okay. As I'm just like, damn it, nothing. As I look at the tag once over, and I'm like, well, we're getting closer, and we're finding more things with Parasol and Velvet. But I look over to what was in the middle. Whatever they brought up was what we saw walk away. As I think about it. Wait, Johnny, check the others. Check their tags if they're also either Parasol or just Velvet. As I rush over to this one to check.
You see that figure is one of the robed ones and does not have a dog tag, but the robe itself is in tatters, and there are various claw marks, or like little slashes against the chest and the legs. But the head, instead of just a normal little hooded robe, it is hooded, but there's a metal mask adjusted to the faceplate of the hood. And you can see carved on it is A2.
A2. What was the one on the tag?
It was also A2.
A2 and A2. So all of these are at least associated. They must have been a part of a unit.
The various Velvet members, as mentioned from Johnny, that he saw he pulls up this, what looks like almost like a wristband, and on it is Velvet's logo, and also on the inside of it is A2 carved in.
As I say, of course. One step closer, two steps back. As I just try to hop over to see if there's anything on this other body. Zayla, poke at a few other bodies before we have to at least go find your mysterious man, or whatever it was, wiggling away, doing the hustle.
Do the hustle. I'm gonna do the hustle over to the warbed, the guy dressed in a warb to see a robe to see if I recognize anything on him that might relate to anything I learned in the past.
Okay.
Might I add, I did the hustle over there.
As you go over there doing the hustle. I don't know how you're doing it while walking, but my goodness.
Just do it with your arms.
I'm not moving back, that's for sure.
You hustle your way over there, and you inspect the body, only to find that this is one of the members of Paracel. And
Wait,
they
which one was
are
it?
in the two next to Zayla. So just the two right here.
Okay.
And you see that on both this body and the one that you had moved from, that you've seen on the patch of the shoulder, that there is Parasol's insignia. You see that on this one, it is on their back, although they're kind of on their stomach at the moment. A hand looks like it's been ripped off, and blood is just kind of pooling out, or it's been pulled out for you don't know really how long. And you could give me heal if you have it to determine how long, but I think the only one with that is Renee.
Well, let me just check.
I don't even think Johnny
Heal?
has.
Yeah, I don't have anything on heal.
Yep, nope. The only one with that is Renee.
Well, I
but-
would like to fondle these two corpses.
I mean, the fondling's for free, but hey,
I'm
If you
just looking
found-
to see if they have anything extra, like hidden.
so turning the guy over, you see that on his vest are various fragments of metal that look like they're part of a knife, like a combat knife of sorts. As you can see, the handle sticking out of his stomach. And outside of that, you see that it doesn't look like any form of military personnel or security, and he has what looks somewhat like what you would see a scientist or doctor wear, as far as the very classical white robes, but more in a form-fitting manner. And you can see that it is being kind of held together by the strands of the jacket that was around him. And for the other one, you had seen that besides the little patchwork, you saw that his head was flipped the other way around, very forcibly, as his head was looking at you, but he was on his stomach as well, or his face was looking at you. And in his mouth, there was what looked like ash. There were ashes in his mouth. This is as if he was gurgling on them.
Okay, hold on. I wanna check something real quick.
No worries.
Ain't no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem free. Free.
I didn't tell you what was on that one, did I, Vincent?
What?
The one you're next to.
Yeah, because I was letting Blank go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to like really quickly just do a quick detect magic if I still see anything.
Whenever you say that, I just envision her finding a random stick and poking the dead body with it. Yep, got magic!
No, she full on fondled it, so you're fondling magical property.
I fondled it, but now I'm scanning the room to see if I can detect some
Fondling
magic
the
going on.
property, aren't you?
So,
I'm sorry.
going about this scenario, however it is you are, as you glean for some sort of magical property to anything in here, you get remnants of something that
Of ashes.
denotes a curse, but it seems as though it has already been activated. And as to what it might be, you would roll me Arcana.
Arcana. Bum.
It is you remember something that was told to you not by your father but by your grandmother.
Grandmama, speak to me.
Would you like some Jello pudding?
God damn it!
Her grandmother is much cooler than that.
Have a
Yeah,
kickflip.
she in the backstory she turned into a giant creature and scared off the gang.
That's what you get, you little bitches.
That's what happens when you have a druid as a grandma.
That's why you don't fuck with Gran. Kickflips.
Ah, my back!
It hurts like hell, but fuck, it feels good.
Oh my god, no, grandma, no.
She lives with abuse. Oh no.
Grandma, yes. You gotta live
Anyway.
with pain.
What did I hear grandma say besides that?
You recall her saying something about this strange summoning ritual for greater deities, or not deities, but greater demons. And the words are fuzzy to you as you go back to a time in which you were in her shop, and she was sitting across from you talking to you, but the memory is as if it is on mute as she's speaking, and you can see her mouth move. The words are just failing to register to you.
Oh my god, I remember when you told me I threw a Venus flytrap at a lady.
Yes.
Don't
Yes, you
forget
did.
the kickflips.
No.
The Venus
But,
flytrap kickflips.
I'm gonna look at them and be like, well, obviously, you don't need me to tell you, but magic has been used to summon. But, scale of 1 to 10 of how fucked we are, we could be completely fucked because the summoning was for greater demons.
Hey, positivity as I take out my gun and knife. Time for a vacation.
For who?
A one-way vacation?
For this demon, I guess. I don't know. We fought bigger things. Just gotta throw Johnny and you in the front.
I am the squishy one. Anyways, and I'm gonna point to the one that was gargling ashes. This one has ashes in his mouth like he's been gargling on him.
So it's a remnant from the ashes.
Yes.
Gosh.
Don't need you to repeat.
Tired of this.
No,
Just gonna throw. Just kidding. Like, can I throw him out of map?
Not
Into
yet.
the blackness of.
see, you'd have to roll a strength check for one, and last time I checked. That ain't.
Gosh darn it.
But as I'm just like,
So,
go
go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead.
Here you go.
It's fine.
Do it.
Do the
Go
hustle.
ahead.
After you.
Oh my goodness.
Ah!
Well, you guys are fighting. I'm gonna do the hustle. Do the hustle.
Roll for it.
Roll for interpreted dance.
I don't have interpretive dance like Vic
You ain't
does.
doing the hustle. I don't know what you're doing.
That wasn't what I meant to do.
I don't know how I feel, but okay.
Anyhow, you
Well, how do I delete this?
You don't. Your secret shame will be there forever.
Oh no.
Yes.
Why
Yes,
is
it's
it
just
not
adding more
working?
lines. Everyone will look upon it. They will wonder.
Why? Who? How? Also, I'm gonna try to call Vic one more time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Zayla, you don't quite know what kind of demonic entity.
I got this.
It's beautiful.
What an 18 on interpretive dance. But seriously, how do I delete this? Is it locked? Oh, there you go. I got it.
Good. Okay.
Vic finally jumped off of it.
Okay.
Well, it says she's online, so let's hope if she's actually gonna get online.
Hey Vince,
Yeah.
I got an 18 in interpretive dance.
I've seen this. I was listening. Also,
I'm
Vic
doing the
will answer.
hustle really hard right now.
Hey, as long
Can
as
you
the GM
feel the
allows it.
hustle?
But the hustle something, you sleight of hand. You know the funny thing is, I've had that ability. Wait, do I have that? Yeah, I do.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
Oh. Oh.
What?
Nothing. There was just a thing, but I realized that you'd all die.
What?
Yeah. So I decided against it.
I hear him banging on the door, but I don't know if it's the front neighbors or the back neighbor.
Your back neighbors.
My brain just clicked to an innuendo.
They came over to borrow a cup of sugar.
It all ended up with just spilling the milk.
Gosh darn it.
Coughing up my own spit.
This whole
Well, what if they
session
both
is
knocked
awesome.
both ways? Sorry, my brain just had to say that.
I apologize for that.
Wait, for what?
Nothing that you will know of.
You were gonna see if it'll work, and you realized you were gonna party
Kill
kill
us
us, and
all.
you decided to be merciful
Instantly.
and
Instantly.
not party kill us.
There's not even like a chance. It's not like, oh, you kind of, well, you sort of. No, it's just death. It's just death.
It's just death?
I would be the first
Just
one to
death.
die.
No, all of you collectively, the first round.
Well, it
Oh,
depends
God.
if it's a trap or not. Because I got abilities against traps.
Well, it's not a trap. It was a thing that can think just as well as you can think,
Oh.
if not better.
Hey.
Well, your intelligence is not 24.
Oh. It must watch a lot of Rick and Morty, huh?
Enough to know that it can do terrible things to you, like Scary Terry.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
Also, only Blake knows. Cool. Great. I mean, Vincent, for you, old man, it would be Freddy Krueger, I guess.
Hey.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
Don't judge me. At least I have better taste.
You just commented about knowing about Rick and Morty.
Yeah, but that's because that's good and it's referencing old stuff within the.
Scary Terry! It's Freddy Krueger!
Ah. I forgot. Oh, because I think I didn't like that episode. That's why.
I mean, it wasn't a good one.
It was very.
It really wasn't.
It was, shake your head. No, no, no kind of one.
Do the hustle.
So, outside of me trying to kill all of you, you, Jeez, the friggin' wings. Why are they all that bad? Why are they all worse than the last? It's just, it's like, I go from one and I'm just like, okay, maybe this one's not as bad as that one, and then I click it and it's like, oh, no, I was mistaken. I'm sorry.
Do you really want to hurt us?
Not on purpose, but I could do it accidentally, apparently.
Not on purpose, but you know, if you die, you die.
If you're dead, you're dead, you know?
I'll just secretly make you roll for new characters. It's fine. It'll all work out.
Just like roll all the things.
I like my character. I just want my sniper rifle.
You like him over there in that pile, and there in the pile. All the piles.
If you kill us and we have to make new characters, I'm gonna make a very meme shit-eating grin face bar.
No, I cannot, in truth, kill you unless you do everything possible to get killed.
Do you not know us?
I'll just have you make the characters right now. I'll just
Even if we like come up with this elaborate plan, one of us can easily be like, "Well, I decide to do this." Everyone dies.
Gosh darn it! I'm so upset.
Believe in the me that doesn't believe in the me, because we could die.
Only if I went with my first original guy, but I've gone with a different one. This one should prove a challenge for all of you, but won't absolutely butcher you in every way, shape, and
Are you trying to give
Okay,
us
so
some
we were right.
monsters who can
Vic
level
was
up?
the sweepest
No.
Or
Well, I
we
mean,
level up?
What? What'd
when
you
the
say?
time is right,
Damn it!
when the time is right, and I will speak more of it.
I was gonna
It's
hustle
okay.
him
We'll
for
do
level
little
up.
bit. Okay.
So what?
Oh, Vic finally woke up because I kept calling her.
Oh. So her BRB meant she passed out.
Yeah.
BRB.
Well, use the restroom, then pass out because she touched the bed. She was sent to dreamland automatically. I don't know why she touched the bed.
One.
Because it's an automatic response when you're tired.
So that's how it might have happened.
Because the bed has a magnet towards people that actually feel comfortable. Gosh. And Vic says yes.
Guess what?
So
That
we got
beds have magnets.
magnet beds.
Oh, you're on the phone with her.
Yeah. I'm on the phone
Wakey,
with her.
wakey, eggs and bakey. I'm doing the shuffle real hard.
Blank said,
hustle.
wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. She's doing a shuffle roll and laying on the floor and doing the dinosaur.
All of those things.
Tell her she should be proud of me. I got an 18 in interpretive dancing.
Blank said to be proud of her because she got an 18 interpretive dancing.
I am proud.
Hell yeah! Do the hustle.
And now she's doing the hustle again.
I don't know why in my head I imagine Thanos doing the shuffle.
Was it? Wait, I just remember the Thanos doing twerking. It was weird.
Well, yeah, that's probably why I thought of the shuffle.
Why is that a good idiot?
Because there's a advertisement of Thanos doing twerking whenever it was a pizza place. Like a clip from like Avengers, and dude's like pizza or some kind of Mexican place in Mexico, and then showed Thanos and food and him twerking, and I was like, why?
It was that day that our minds truly died. The horror. I'm just gonna tell you what you saw, Vincent.
I thought I already saw what you told me I saw.
I never told you what you saw.
What I really saw. So tell me what I saw. What I really saw.
I'm gonna.
I got it.
Stop. No more watching the
Sakura
boys for
died.
you.
Damn
We
it.
make Sakura die a little bit in the inside.
Alright, well, let
Yes.
me wish Vic good night, everyone. Wait, let me see if I can do a thing. Yeah. I don't know where the microphone is on this phone. It says Ow! Not me! Not you! You're supposed to say something around the mic here. Wait, is this closer to the mic? Is that closer to the mic?
Is it?
Okay. Vic's going bed. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
It beat Sakura to the joke.
Gosh darn it, like. I have food in my mouth. It's not fair.
Good night, Vic.
Everyone say good night. Now you go
Good
bay.
Okay.
Okay.
Cold pizza's best pizza. Shut up, Sam, if you don't know what I'm talking about.
What?
My stomach growled at me after I said that.
Oh. Your stomach's like, I don't know about that. Maybe
Crabs
you
in a
should-
bucket.
Shut up. Crabs in a bucket.
What?
Crabs in a bucket.
No. Okay. So, on this individual, all of their limbs have been inverted.
What?
All of them. They're all on backwards. Or forwards, depending on if they were meant to be backwards.
Huh.
The individual's face, but you can at least still recognize on it as most of it's been rended. There's just like chunks of it that are left. But on a cheek, which you would assume to be a cheek maybe on this individual, there is A2 carved into, well, it looks like it's a tattoo on their face. And judging from their attire, they were also of a military suit as far as their outfit. And you can see next to them is a snapped in half rifle.
Wait. Say that last bit again. That I saw what?
A rifle.
A snapped in half rifle. And roll me, well.
Am I gonna break down crying? I wanted my dad.
Who knows?
Fuck.
You see the rifle on the ground. And as you inspect it and you pick up the pieces and you put them together. It reads Deadshot. And here lies the broken remains of your gun.
Don't lie to me, man. Don't do this, man.
It's snapped in half.
Don't do this to me, man.
The nozzle's bent a bit.
Don't
all
do
scratched
this to
up.
me, man.
Sorry, Deadshot didn't make it through this adventure.
No!
And you just see Vincent crying over a gun that's it's just this ordinary carbine. That he's holding in his hand. It looks like it's been snapped in half.
I'm actually crying too.
I knew guys cried over cars, but this is a whole new level.
I have no idea what's going on.
I'll avenge you. I'll avenge you.
Johnny just kind of slightly walks up to you. You okay?
We gotta kill whoever did this.
To a gun?
Yes.
It's just a gun.
It's not
more
even
than
yours.
You think.
Is it?
Johnny,
This is just a
you
random-
know the feeling whenever you lose something important to you, right?
Was this yours?
This is my gun. That shot.
Oh, you even named this one. I'm so sorry. He just puts a talon on your shoulder.
You gotta kill him.
We will.
You guys are so weird.
Listen, you wouldn't understand. You've never had. We had.
A gun?
No. Friend. As glorious.
What am I, chopped liver?
I don't want to be rude.
I've really fucking Johnny.
She looks at you. No. A friend that wasn't as alive as you or me or Vincent. One that had more of a, well, an objective kind of friendship.
It was
I'm gonna
my
give him
partner.
this deadpan look and just point at him, indicating that he's not technically alive.
I am still alive, and it's still hurtful. And you know what? I'm just gonna say you don't understand. I'm just gonna have to deal with this one, all right? You just don't.
Zombie,
You've never had something like this.
zombie, eh.
It's okay. She wouldn't get it. But I understand. And maybe we could fix the thing?
I don't know. The only one that would be competent to do something might be Renee.
There's still hope.
I found a lab. Maybe that still works. I don't know if that helps fix the gun.
I don't think that's what we need.
We need to kill whoever did this.
No.
We
Yes.
gotta go.
And as you see it, a flood of memories that you've had, Deadshot, just assaults your mind. Dating back to the first time that you held that Deadshot.
And I gave it the name.
Yes.
I can't see me loving nobody but you.
Gosh darn it.
You think
No,
this
that's-
is funny? I'm actually crying.
Oh, this is me out of game because that's what I was thinking about.
This is the in and out of game. They're talking up there.
Eh. It's okay,
Sometimes
Vincent. I mean,
the dead don't
my
shoot
parents
twice.
are dead.
Yeah, I killed all her parents. I broke your gun. Renee's the
So
next one on the
that's
chopping
Dalish
block.
trying to cheer him up by bringing up her dead parents.
Calm down, Batman. The only thing you're missing is just the money.
No, she's had money. She lives in a very wealthy family.
I mean, shut up. We're not talking about that right now. We're trying to make him feel better.
Oh, so you can reimburse me for the gun. Gotcha. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, maybe when the world starts using currency again.
I mean,
Sure.
to be fair, there's still that percentage that we could still probably get into communications, and they probably had protocols if they had this underground building. As I just step away from the remnants of it. If they have anything that could probably counteract it, they've already initiated it, especially for those in the higher leagues than us, quote unquote. Because
Why don't we just steal you another gun?
it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the fine curves. It's not the way you pull the trigger. It's like if you took away my gun. Do you want to take away your magic?
gun.
What if someone stole all of your ability to use magic, huh?
Then I just use Johnny as a meat shield.
I mean, he is pretty durable, but that's beside the point.
He totally turned on Johnny. Johnny just minding his own business, trying to help.
He just walks away from the both of you.
Come back, meat shield. We need your bronze.
Shield your own meat as he walks through the door.
That sounds dirty.
Disgusting, Johnny.
Yeah, whatever. As you can hear him tumbling around with something in the room ahead.
What
No, he
do
went
I
into
find?
the dark room, or
He went into the dark room.
I'm gonna follow him. Well, I'm gonna tell Vince to try to stay close behind.
I guess I'll huddle behind as Renee sticks with me.
Renee's just... Actually, where is Renee?
Narnia.
What? Don't do this.
Where is Renee?
She's on the screen still.
Is she?
Yeah, she's still on the screen. I see her.
Are you sure?
She's like... You guys don't see her? Oh, she moved.
Where is she?
She was moved.
Where'd she go?
Are you just...
Is
Are you
it-
just messing with me?
Roll me one, you'll find out.
Where do we go? I see nothing.
Just roll willpower because he's trying to say that she disappeared while we were all being stupid. Also,
Oh, are you
should I
serious?
roll? Yes.
You
think
rolled
so
your
for sure?
will. You
Oh.
never... You
I
you
cried
haven't...
about my gun.
Yeah, you cried about the gun.
Oh.
And when you look back... You didn't see her. Your gun... It wasn't... The gun wasn't the will.
Oh.
Renee was the
my-
will.
My
Oh.
will is...
Yeah, I set you up for that, and it was nice. It was pretty nice.
I'm sad.
So, as you...
About the gun, not the Renee missing, because I know she'll be back.
As you look around, and you see no trail or trace of Renee, like, except for her bag with all of her medicines inside. That's on the ground. But there's this very heavy feeling that hits you almost immediately. It's something that you in particular feel, Zalif. You feel like there's this awful migraine that comes on when you think back to Renee just standing right there. She was right there. You had just glanced at her as you were shuffling from one bite to the next, and then she wasn't. In fact, the more that you think about it, in the midst of all of your talking and your conversation, she never said anything. Anything. And then, as you think about it, you can't really tell where she went.
Hey, Johnny, can you come back in here? Something serious.
Johnny, he just whispers, "Yeah, I'm what?" As he comes back in through the doorway.
Renee's not here. It's just her backpack.
as I realized it. Wait, what? I turn
I
around.
don't even remember her saying anything. She's just silent, and now she's gone.
No.
Ugh. Gotta readjust my legs. I'm trying to set up.
Johnny looks to you and he looks to where Renee was. She didn't just get up and leave. I was right next to the door the whole time.
Unless she went up the stairs.
She's not here.
But we would have seen her going up, right?
And heard her. Wouldn't we have heard her footsteps?
Johnny walks up to one of the those stair steps, and he begins stepping on it, and there is a sound to it.
I go to where the bag is. I just walk around.
The bag's just there.
Can I check it to see if there is anything wrong?
All of her stuff is in it. There's nothing wrong with it.
Can I use, like, detect magic to specifically see if I could see if there is recent magic used besides the ritual?
You outstretch your hand to feel the air around you and to discern if there's something off about it, but nothing. It's
Well,
as if she just vanished.
She wasn't taken by magic. I don't feel anything.
Something must have took her then. Unless
While we were all here in this bright lit room?
We were too busy fondling the dead.
No, something's off.
Give me perception. It's all of you.
All of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes time. Here we go.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes time.
I just want Johnny to roll a 1 just so I can feel good about myself.
Well, if he rolls really low, you're gonna say, yeah, Watson time. No.
He rolls higher than all of us.
Well, now he has to yell, yeah, Sherlock Holmes style.
And all the time you've known Johnny, you've never, not even once heard him yell that.
It's a good time to start now.
He just rushes over towards the stonework that Renee was standing above. And as you all kind of encircle it, you can see that as you put your hands next to it, there's a bit of air that you can feel from underneath. And Johnny immediately lifts it up. He just sinks his talons into the floor and just tries to rip it upwards. And
Oh my god, she Scooby-Dooed us.
I don't think that was on purpose, though.
Well, it's never on purpose when they lean against a wall and they fall through.
I was gonna say she did more of a Daphne thing, but okay.
Well, yeah, well, I was just saying Scooby-Doo as in the show in general.
Are any of you assisting him with this? Because at the moment he failed.
Yes.
Okay, roll me
I'm not-
strength.
Time
I'm
for
not
my
strong.
wee baby arms. Let's go.
Natural 20.
What?
17.
Oh, I was gonna say, oh, I'll roll just for shits and giggles, but he got a 17.
You
I
can
mean, he
still
helps. You can still assist,
Help.
yeah.
I am
Okay,
Baby
let's
arms.
do this for shits and giggles.
watch you be 28.
You got 10. So you both assist. And together, the lot of you pull off this huge slab. Like this thing, it's heavy enough to, if it fell on one of you, you're pretty sure a limb would snap.
It's like, God damn it! All right, whatever you do, we gotta work this together. No.
Zayla's just
There we go.
saying, be a man, you must.
I swear
Now's
to
not the
God,
time.
I will drop this stupid stone on you. I swear to God.
And there we go.
Ugh.
What is this? As you all kind of look around and you can see there is a hole. Just right there where she stood, and it goes very deep. It's smooth. It looks like it's never seen any wear or tear. It looks brand new.
Is
Freshly
it
made.
lit or is it dark?
Well, it's just a dark hole. It's a dark hole in the ground.
If I look, can I just keep seeing in this darkness? Or is there something I can see?
You can see that it takes a ways down, and you can see that it actually starts to curve in on itself. Not in on itself, but it starts to curve, and you can't see past that because you'd probably have to go down.
It kind of curves like a slide.
Well, gang, looks like we got a mystery afoot.
You need to stop. As Giants just looks at you. You need to stop. We are not some Scooby-Doo agency, right?
But don't you want to do it for
Don't you dare.
Johnny?
Don't you. I'm done. I'm done with you.
Just get down in the slide. It'll be easy.
I'm gonna look at
That
Johnny
probably won't even fit.
eating grin and be like, "Let's go, Scooby."
You can go down by yourself, because I'm pretty sure you would fit. As he's just very lightly just shoving you toward. Just go, come on. You got this.
I'm gonna take out that random little 2-inch ball I have and just drop it in the hole.
Whew.
Like I don't
And it
hear.
just-
Do I hear it hit? I'm just trying to see if I hear it hit something.
You wait for it. You wait for it. You hear the faintest tap of something just plopping. And it takes a while. Took you a good 5 or so minutes before you heard that after dropping that thing.
When I see this hole, is it big enough for Johnny to fit in?
It was a square, little tile. Well, not little tile, but one that you've all been standing on. But as far as the hole itself, you're not sure. It's not as wide as Johnny is, with wings and all.
Just look at him. Are you sure you can't fit in there? Can't just
Listen,
leave
if you want me to get stuck in a hole, I'm sure there are better holes elsewhere.
What if you go missing like Renee?
You know what? When it doesn't work and it gets stuck, both of you have to.
Listen, I'll go
As
as
he-
I just jump right in.
And as you do, you
I was gonna
begin
say,
your
do
descent.
we have rope? But nope, you just jump right in.
Full on.
I
And
already
it's
used my rope.
glorious.
Remember the whole night?
Oh yeah, you did.
I had rope.
forgot.
It's
You
gone.
did have rope.
As I was just like,
Tried.
fuck it, the priority. As I just hop right in. I need to keep all the people I'm using. I mean, my friends.
Don't lie now. You're already
I'm
stuck.
gonna yell. I'm gonna yell down the hole. If something happens, I'll light up the hole.
Please don't, because that's a terrible idea. As I could hear, because wait, it's echoing, right?
Yeah.
But what if you die? Die.
Then don't fucking slide down and follow the weird thing. Potatoes.
So, as
Oh,
Johnny
you
and
should have done
Zayleth
something before you fell down.
Down.
stare at the hole, and Vincent, you slide down the thing what feels like ages.
Well, I make
Just
sure
sliding.
to grab my knife, so just in case if I'm going too fast, I can use the blade to at least try to slow the momentum, just in
You
case.
may not have time. Give me dexterity.
Oh my
Because
god.
you're going fast.
Oh my god.
Speeding bullet.
Man, like when I was having this whole conversation, like I don't know what to do, and now that he's in the hole, I'm
Oh.
like, I could have fucking used an arcane mark on him so I knew where he was.
Yes.
Could have, but you took
I
too
could have,
long.
but you dived in.
Because y'all were like arguing about throwing Johnny in a hole so he could get stuck.
I was just asking. No, I was just asking if you could fit or not, so if you can go with us or not.
Wait.
But now you're on your own.
I mean,
I'm used
the
to
hole's
it.
still there. It hasn't resealed itself. Actually, now you can slab slowly. No.
Don't worry, I can react to dangers before my senses would normally allow him to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Uncanny dodge.
Yep. You gave me that dexterity.
Wait.
It's not gonna save you.
Wait, what?
So, you try to pull out your knife as quickly as you can, swiftly pulling the blade and trying to hook it onto one of the sides of the wall. But as you're sliding down, you've realized a couple of things. One, this is as smooth as the slab you were standing on. So as you try to dig your knife in, it's just kind of scraping along it, not finding purchase inside. Two,
Fuck.
this is going very, very fast, and the friction is uncomfortable, and it causes your stabbing hand to lose its stabbing equipment. As
No,
your
not a stab
knife.
hand.
No, hey, knife.
A knife starts sliding down the tunnel as well.
Wait,
And as you're
behind me
just
or in front of me.
behind you.
Fuck.
Dexterity be as dexterity is, I'm sorry.
God damn it, don't worry. I
As
can
you're-
avoid this.
As you're zooming down, you eventually come out of the hole, just flying out of it. As it's not so much as downwards as it looks like it's coming from the wall. Is the last thing you can see before you just smack into the
Is there a way for me
ground.
to like catch the landing, or at least prepare myself?
You can
whenever I
give me
get-
acrobatics.
Okay. I put points in that. Yeah.
There you go.
25.
So you manage to tuck and roll that landing with an expert's grace, fast enough to dodge the knife that was coming in behind you, plunging into the back of your skull. And as you find yourself down here, it is well lit. In fact, what you see ahead of you probably not want to see ever again, but you see it nonetheless.
Yeah.
As our story takes an unexpected turn.
Oh my god. Also, in my head, whenever like getting slung out, first one was the goofy version, and then the next one, if I ever succeeded the roll, was just me like doing a little flip and then just kind of adjusting my body, just literally pressed against the wall like a badass anime character, and then taking the landing. Yeah.
You got some of that, but most of it was just survival instincts taking of you and preventing you from dying your final death.
And then I'm gonna go grab my knife. Wait, where did I land?
So you landed,
Here.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right well, here. Because your knife's right there plugged into the ground. Just like a boom. As you look around and you see a couple of things that A, put your mind at ease, and B, make it, well, tense up once more. So, you see an unconscious Renee. Laying on this slab right there. As it looks like a patient bed of some sort, albeit of a very improvised method. It's not as up to par with most of the medical beds you've seen here in the 4021.
Hmm.
It's it looks pretty dated. It has a little light over her head, and you can see that she is still in her attire. However, there's a little device over her head, kind of draped over. You've never really seen anything like this. Fortunately for you, you do not have any points in engineering, I believe.
Negative.
Yes. So you don't really know what this mechanism is, but it is over her head, and it looks.
Oh, Zachary, you cutting it?
Oh, it is over her head, and it looks very much like
Like
like something you'd see in like a Saw movie, maybe. If
As in,
Vincent's
like-
seen Saw movies.
will you allow it?
Yes.
Okay. As I'm like, I kind of look around real quick to at least see if there's anyone else close by. As I unholster my gun.
Now going towards the other thing, the unsettling part. That you thought that was the unsettling part. No. So as you look, the other thing that you notice, your wits, is on a display of sorts. A very large display, yes.
Yep.
There's a set of vats. These large tube shaped vats. And
Fuck.
there are entities floating around inside, except for one. One is completely empty. Freshly opened, from what it looks like. But each of the individuals looks... you're not really sure what. Some of them, you've never quite seen anything like what you're seeing. Skin is various rigid shells, almost like plates on their body. They're entirely in this very pale blue, and the scales themselves are a dark hue of blue.
Mm-hmm.
And their arms and legs extend out into these mandibles for their hands, and these digit-grade feet that look like kind of like crab claws almost.
God damn it, crap people.
And the variety of them, this was just one. They all have a different shape and make to them, all except for the one farthest to the right, which looks like an individual. As you look upon the person, you see a familiar face. Burned, viciously burned, and almost unrecognizable if it weren't for that face that you've seen so many times.
Oh god.
That stupid face that you've
Ah, god damn
last
it.
time you saw,
Ah, god damn it.
he was grinning and, well, blowing up. You see Firecracker.
As first and foremost, I hurry over to at least check it out. Wait, it's this one, right?
Mm-hmm. Or as you've known him before, his alias, Morgan.
God damn it, you look like shit, Morgan.
Floating here in this vat, you can see that his body is very different. He has these veins all around his body that are It's almost like his body's trying to regrow itself, but in a very strange way. Muscles expand in a way that he was a bulky guy, but this is bulkier even for him. And you can see that on his fingers there are the makings of claws. On his feet, the same, or on his toenails to be specific. And his face is a bit more primal than you remember it to be. And he's floating there, unconscious.
No, why? As I look at the other events, why him? He would be pissed to see himself look like this, but why? Unless I walk to the others to see if there was anything different about them.
The one that you're currently next to. You wouldn't know this figure. You've very rarely seen anything like it, as far as you can tell, but from the make of it, they have a few distinguishable things. For one, there is a certain tattoo upon them as they float. And it's on their... looks to be on their stomach. And it reads immortal. And unfortunately for you, it's spelled in a very strange way, and it's written in these very interesting italic characters. They look very colorful, very contrasting the creature that you see in the tub, but it is something that both Johnny and Zaleth would maybe recall, as it was a strange tattoo. Mare. But the entity that you see floating in can't really make hind or hair of them. They're humanoid, for sure. But they look like nothing you've ever seen before, even through various forms, fictional media that you've seen in the past. This is more alien than that, and that's saying something. It is humanoid though, and looks female. But aside from that, you've no idea what to make. As you see, their skin is a very smooth and almost shiny silver. It was completely chromed over.
Mm-hmm.
And they have these metal plates in the ribcage area. Or not metal plates, but these glowing plates that stretch in a bit of an oval shape almost. Very thin oval shape as they stretch around the stomach on going around the sides vertically.
Mm-hmm.
and you can see that the individual, their face is completely blank. They don't have lips, nose, eyes, ears, nothing. It's wholly blank.
Well, all I know is, as I look at it, probably the Two Peanut Gallery would have a general idea about this one. As I make sure and see, just following down the conga line of old and new appearances of people.
The one you see in front of you. This one, outside of the rest, looks in a make of his own. It's definitely a he. You see this shark-like man. His skin tone is red, though it's a clash of red and white, primary and secondary tones. It's actually better if I just show you.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's been a while, but I can finally show off.
Street sharks?
Yes. Yes, actually.
God damn it, don't do this.
You know I'm doing it, dude.
No, don't do this.
I've already done it. All right. You see this individual floating around in the tank, arms lowered, and he looks completely and totally incapacitated, but his body looks almost dude, it's humanoid, sure, but it's borderlining on some strange amalgamation of something. You've, in all of your years, never quite seen someone like him. You've seen some shark people before, yeah, sure, but not one that looks like this. Until now.
I'm under the assumption Parasol is the equivalent to Team Rocket.
I mean, they're catching all the various Pokemon, evolving them. You know, they're just doing it right. And the last one is the one that you've already seen. The first one that you locked eyes with, and with the webbed feet, the pale blue skin, gills on their neck, the various rigid plates covering their body, and what looks like almost almost like an anglerfish. There's a little thing dangling from their forehead, light that pulses dimly.
Okay. I look at them and like, shit.
As you look around, there are two doors. One that you're right next to, where there's what looks like a security camera buzzing around.
Where is it facing?
Oh, you're looking at it and it's looking at you.
As I'm like, fuck.
There's the one furthest away from the back, the front of the room. You're not really sure. And there's a variety of shelves. A lot of them look like they have various scrolls on them. You're not one for magic, so you don't really know what any of them really are. There's just various scrolls and books. And then on another shelf, there are a series of chemical salves. You've seen some of these before in terms of medicinal herbs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there is a table that has a variety of strange technologies placed on it, and a little cooking area for some of the chemicals. A little alchemist's table, if you will.
As I'm like, Renee would be really happy if she was conscious, but it is what it is. As I try to see how high up the security camera is, because I feel it's safer.
If you see that right next to it, and next to you, there is a ladder. Climbed it, you could reach it with relative ease.
Yes, I do so. I get on the ladder.
Give me attack.
Give me my what?
Attack.
Okie dokie.
Hey Sakura, can I yell down the hole?
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Are you still alive?
All right, so now you have to balance because there's a loud that echoes
Oh my
the hole that you came out of.
Thanks. Thanks.
So give me that dexterity while you're trying to cut this thing.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Okay, so you fall off the ladder, or you don't really like fall on your back. You just slip off of the ladder and you catch yourself
Oh my god damn it.
as the voice reverberates from within the hole. And as you look up, you see your camera's just panning. It's moving left and right mechanically.
As I get annoyed, I just put I aim my gun at it. Fuck you.
All right. Still there. No, I was kidding. Because you shot it with one. You shot it, but you shot it with one. No, but you destroy it.
I'm so tired of that camera, and having Zayla do that did not help, so I got annoyed and I just aimed at it and shot it directly in its lens.
And back upstairs in the Batcave. You, Zalith, and Johnny hear the firing of a bullet just echoing through the hole. And Johnny looks to you. That's it. I don't care. I'm just gonna try and squeeze through. Whatever happens, happens. And he just
You first.
goes in the hole, and yeah, he just jumps in. He
Jumps in head first.
I'm gonna jump in and yell, "Thank you for being a cushion."
You suck! As he squeezes it first, and he gets stuck almost, and then when you jump in, that's
the push.
pushes him. And then you both go sliding down like just speeding bullets. It's more uncomfortable for Johnny as it's
Went down
just
head
friction
first.
and feathers. Yeah, that too. You're having a good old time because he's acting as the stop cushion to your slide here, so you're just kind of like you're not sliding faster than him.
Can I
But
hear
both of
this?
you are just you can hear something coming down that hole at an alarming speed, and before long,
Can you hear my wheeze?
out comes the wheeze are echoing. Out comes Johnny, just sailing in, and he sails almost towards the shelf, way ahead, like right over here. We're gonna see if he actually manages to stop himself.
Acrobatics. Please
Flight.
with him.
He has wings.
Oh. Does he know how to use it? That's the serious question.
We're about to find out.
Oh no.
And so,
Huh.
he does.
And now he has to roll to see if he's gonna cushion Zalith or get bopped against the wall even then.
So as he comes flying out, just gets real close to the shelf, and he stops himself, wings just kind of cushioning the air around him, just withdrawing him from just colliding with the shelf as he stops just short of it. Zaleth comes in right after him, just swooshing out, and she's just having a good time. She looks like she's having fun with it. But she comes right out after him, and we're going to see.
Roll.
So Zaleth, give me dexterity, and we're also going to roll it for Johnny, as you are cannonballing straight at his back. This is gonna be
12.
wonderful. This is gonna be the best thing ever. It's
Oh
gonna
my
make me
God.
happy. It's gonna make me happy, and it's gonna make you happy. It's gonna make us all happy.
I'm happy because they all. Oh.
I hate you. I hate you. Why? Why? Just stop it already.
Until
Okay.
you say uncle.
No, I never will.
Exactly.
You'll get a 1. Zaleth, you're just kind of, at this point, just kind of flailing free. And most of it's kind of mixed in with your excitement, I would assume, as you're just kind of like zooming straight at him just like a cannon. And
Where was the hole?
so
What
the
was
whole
that?
the hole was basically let me get this right here.
Oh.
And so you came sailing out past Johnny, who was right about here. Zoomed into him. So yeah, you came right there, and in what you can only recognize as the quickest you've ever seen him anything, outside of before he got turned into Big Bird on Ice.
Thank you for that one.
Welcome. He
was gonna
spins
say
about and he catches Zaleth, preventing her from face planting into the chemicals that look highly unstable. And one of them has a skull and crossbones on it. Just to let you know that she may have died, possibly.
Let's do that again.
No, never again. As he flaps downwards and he sets you back down. What in the world is wrong with you? Ah.
I look
You
at
got
the two.
me. And I'm gonna like dramatically lean on his shoulder. My hero.
He shrugs you off. Yeah, the hero who almost went splat along with you. Ah. As you can just, in the moment that you had done so, you can just hear him pounding at just like 1,000,000 miles per hour. Just like do. And he looks around and he looks you, Vincent, and the exploded camera that's just busted. Sparks are just kind of sprinkling out over your head as you're just exercising all of the anger. It's your first cut. I was gonna say that, but I'll stop myself. Gosh darn it.
God bless America.
You're not in America.
Not anymore, it's not. As I look over, oh hey, welcome Peanut Gallery to the vat. Basically Saw. I'll be realistic. It's sci-fi Saw. There you go.
As you see all of what I had mentioned to Vincent, see Renee on the table, unconscious with a thing on her head that looks like a strange contraption of some sort that is highly technological, severely deadly. And of course you see the bats. As the both of you kind of just look at them. Johnny goes to one, he just looks towards the first one towards the right. He just looks towards it. What happened to these people?
Well, at least that guy right there, don't tap the glass, he was supposed to be dead. But apparently Parasol or my captain or whoever the fuck else is a part of this. I don't. Very likely Velvet. One of them decided to at least be collecting people like their Pokemon and want to play God by messing with the cells like they did with you, Newt Newt.
And he just looks towards the creature, and he looks towards you for a moment, down himself. Huh. Wait a minute. Does that mean, as he points towards the only one of these bats he's seen that's completely blank, does that mean that one was for me?
It's either you or anyone else a part of our party. Or even the one that magically went missing, if anyone else remembers her.
Yeah. I thought we'd run into her again at least at some point, but it seems like whatever happened. Maybe the mansion will know. Or Dorothy.
See, I gotta bug Dorothy if
She
she's
can't
letting people
come
out.
here.
Well, next time we get back upstairs, right now we're literally in a
If we get
super
back
deep...
upstairs.
You know, we don't need your negativity right now, Johnny. We
I
already
mean,
have a bunch of dead people that are very likely gonna come back if we tap the glass even.
I'm gonna walk over to the containers and I'm gonna use Death Watch.
so for all of these individuals, they, as far as you can tell, aside from the one all the way on the left near Vincent, they are alive.
Except for the one near Vincent.
That one looks like it's breathing. It is, as far as you can tell, very much not.
Very not what?
Very much not alive.
Oh,
And
I'm gonna point them out and tell them while you're explaining this to me.
okay. And as you do this, upon your glancing gaze towards the lot of these individuals, you see one smack dab in the, and you make out the tattoo.
Whose tattoo is it?
You recognize it as Mare's, as it just reads "Immortal" on the stomach, right below the belly button.
Oh my god. I'm gonna quickly look over at Johnny. You don't think that's Mare, do you?
friend of
He
yours?
walks over towards you. He looks up at the vat. I don't know anyone else who has a tattoo like that. That part of their body.
Sakura, I'm not ready for these emotions.
I mean,
I was never
no
ready
one
for
ever
my
is.
sniper rifle to be gone.
That thing is snapped. Which begs the question, what does Zero have in his hand?
Oh no.
Motherfucker.
I'm just gonna.
Listen, I've been
walk
planning
up.
this for a while, and I had to have you going. But man, was it a wild ride. And it hasn't stopped yet. It's still got some ways to go.
I need my gun.
I mean, you have your gun in pieces. If you didn't drop it where it was.
Yeah, no, I took it with me.
Okay, then yeah, it's with you.
I forgot to add that. Give me a second.
Feel free to add
I'm gonna walk
Deadshot.
up to the thingy that has Mare's. Lightly press my hand on it.
As you do so, there's a jolt of life. The thing moves, if only very briefly, going back to its dormant state.
How many times do I keep telling you, don't tap on the tank? You know, our currently aquatic friends right now don't want to be woke.
The individual within. Give me perception, Zalith. Is it?
24.
Very weakly, almost too weak to hear. You definitely hear her voice, as if murmuring in her sleep. There's
There's a what?
it's more of like a mumbling. Bits and
Oh.
pieces are kind of just out there, but
Like she's talking in her sleep?
yes. But it sounds wounded. Sounds in pieces, and her voice is greatly distorted. It has a few octaves that it shouldn't, and stronger ones than or stronger ones that it already had. And your name is muttered. That's the best that you can hear.
I'm gonna turn to Johnny and kind of like whisper because I don't know if these things can hear me. What if she's like you? What if she's like you and can walk? You can't just leave her in there.
I know. But I just keep thinking to myself, what if she's like me and she just doesn't have any control over it?
I heard her say my name. She's asleep.
You don't know what whoever's behind this has done to her. We can't just wake her up and then expect her to be fine. We have to find out more, anything else, before we just bring her back from whatever this is. And she's not exactly in the mood for speaking. You know as best as I do that she's always had a temper, and if they've done anything to her, then I have my own bets that it's only gotten worse. But I can't stop you from whatever you do. I just don't really think you should just yet. But we're getting her out of here.
I'm gonna use. I'm not breaking her out before you assume I'm doing that, Vincent.
What? What?
Vincent's just next to Renee. Yeah.
As I move over, I'm like, shouldn't we worry about Renee in this basic saw trap whenever you're about to break a tank, whenever we shouldn't break a tank of your possibly soon-to-be mutant friend? No offense.
None taken.
I'm gonna use Arcane Mark and place a mark on the container.
It's set. It's sealed.
You wanna read it? It says it lasts for like a month.
Yeah. It's there.
Then I'm gonna look around the room. You said there was scrolls and stuff, right?
There was yeah, the scrolls are right here.
Okay, I wanna go over there and see if anything reminds me of something. Catch my eye.
Okay. Johnny walks over to where Vincent and Nay are, and he looks towards the device. You know, maybe we could just break this thing? Yeah?
See, you say that, but have you seen Saw?
No. What is that?
So, is a stupid movie that people enjoy that try to quote unquote punish people but it led to more people dying than anything else for their quote-unquote selfish actions.
Well, the doc was super selfless, so obviously this isn't Saw. So we just gotta get it off her.
If you think that would work, as I look at it to see if there is nothing that would be the quote-unquote trigger for it if we try to
You can
move
give
it.
me perception.
my
I'll
God.
let you know the different.
We
God.
are going to kill. We're going to kill Renee without even her being here. This makes
We're
me
gonna kill
No,
you.
she won't die.
Fuck me.
Oh, you can't see it. You're looking for some sort of maybe a switch, maybe something that confirms your suspicion. But you see this thing and it's hard not to panic. See your position. As your eyes dart around for a lot of things are swirling through your mind. Very hard to focus on the little. But as both you and Johnny, we'll just see if he does. I doubt it, and I swear, he can't do it again. He can't. It's impossible for him to do it again.
See now, out of spite. Just because you challenged it.
I'm really upset. Upset that I'm right and he didn't do it.
What?
He got a 19, but he also failed.
What? How? Fuck.
It was a high one to see what you were going to see. I wasn't kidding. I said that was pretty high. I was expecting 15 or 16. No. He got close. I'll give him that. But now I get to spit in his eye, and it feels good. But speaking of eyes and spit,
What? I
you
hope that's not referring to me.
you see one of the scrolls spits at you. As you're looking over them, you see various scrolls of powers that you've never quite seen this up close. You've seen some of them as demonstrated to you, father, and some that you've been shown by your grandmother. But what you're looking at right now is like a treasure trove of them all. And give me, if you're looking at these things, one, if you're looking at them, do you pick up any to read? Just what do you do when you walk over?
And just, I pick up to just look over to see if I can find anything.
So you do pick one up.
Yeah, just to see if it's anything useful.
Interesting. Give me fortitude, please.
Fortitude.
Fortitude.
5.
Okay. So, as you put your hands on this, it begins to get very warm. As you see the book open up, flips up on its own, and pages start flipping through, and you see a slug jump out from one of the pages, and it worms its way down your throat. And you drop the book immediately as you start trying to hack back up this slug. And you're just sitting there trying to throw this thing back up as it's just wiggling around in your throat, and you just feel sick to your stomach as this thing is slimy and it tastes like a dirty diaper. It ain't good.
Can I propose something to you?
You could.
Could I try to use Mage Hand to pull it out of my throat?
You most certainly can. Try.
I can try. You want me to roll it to see if I can?
With the mage hand, we'll say it's dexterity to see if you can reach down your throat with that magical hand. This is the scene is taking place as
I got an 18.
you see. Okay, so you see Zalith. At first, she's holding open a book, and then she's gagging on something. And you see her with her right hand. She summons some power, and she begins to. You see a blue transparent hand go down her throat and begins yanking something up out, and you see a slug, this very large slug, be pulled out of Zalith's mouth, and it flops onto the ground.
What the fuck?
And it worms and wiggles on the ground, and then it slowly sizzles and burns away. Johnny rushes over to you. Z, are you okay? What was that?
A slug.
Why did you have a slug in your... You touched something, didn't you?
I'm gonna point at the scroll.
As you hold the... or as you point towards it and you see the scroll on the ground, you both do. It is neatly tied itself back in place. And it's just sitting there on the floor. Almost innocently. As he looks down towards it. Maybe as he just kind of pulls you back from the shelf, maybe we don't touch the weird magical things.
Maybe. And hear me out. I should do something that was smart and not idiotic of me. And I want to use detect magic to see if they're just like curses.
Almost every last one is enraptured in some form of curse. There's so many to go by. You look at one and you know it's cursed.
As I give a slow clap for what happened.
They look like they're all being protected by some form of curse.
I'm gonna turn back to Vincent. Go focus on Renee!
Why about you help us then? Instead of putting something big and slimy down your throat.
Real quick, ignoring him. All of them seem protected by a curse? Or is
Yes.
there, like some that aren't?
And they're all varying curses, some worse than the others.
God damn it.
I'll leave that all alone. I mean, I could try Mage Hand, but I don't want anything flying at me again.
You're not
Do it, you won't.
You're not sure how they'll activate and what will activate them. But I will tell you that there is ways of unlocking curses or releasing curses, but there's a whole process to that. Yeah.
Why don't you have anything that reverses curses?
Hey, listen, I can set this on fire, but I don't think it'll work.
I mean,
That's a curse reversal.
if all else fails.
But while you're discussing this, let's tap on the glass, and you all look towards the vats.
Oh.
And you see in the one betwixt Mare and the dead anglerfish thing, the shark is looking at all of you. There's a big, wide, sharky grin on his face.
As I look over to the two. So, do you see the street shark smiling at you guys too, or am I still insane?
I mean,
I
bit of
wish
both.
I was insane.
Bit of both at the moment. I'm not sure. I might also be insane. As Johnny looks over and he just kind of gets a bit in front of you, Zalith. Maybe we should maybe he's all right. Hey, maybe I don't want to just judge a book
Johnny, you
by
just
its
jinxed
vat.
that. Why did you jinx that? As I give him the dirtiest glare.
Well, while they're arguing, I'm gonna do like a stupid Doctor Strange hand movement. I'm like, well, I'm ready to fight, but like really, I'm like, I give that look of I don't want to fight.
My goodness. All right, so um, you very much so. All of your suspicions and questions are answered in the blink of an eye, almost, as the figure inside of the vat tries to press against the top, and he presses, and you see that the lid looks ready to burst, and with a bit more force, it does. It just kind of smashes that thing.
And holster my gun, and I pull my knife out just to be ready.
Okay.
I'm gonna yell out, "Hey, are you bad?"
His head plops out from the vat.
Please say
Nah.
something. What?
What?
He looks to you and he just says, "Nah."
Do we have
You
a
guys are
second
fun.
Johnny? As I look over at Johnny, did you have a weird shark child?
He looks at you, and you can't tell if he's just trying to register what you said or if he's just terribly upset with you.
Well, Shark Boy, you got a name?
Yeah. And he looks like he thinks for a moment. He looks up, and then he looks back to you, and he shakes his head. No,
Can I just call you Jaws?
sure.
I'm gonna just
Alright,
call you
dibs.
Shark Boy till we have a name.
Jaws! As I put my hand up in the air. Jaws!
Either works.
Stupid!
You're stupid! As I point my gun in her direction, but pointing my finger
He
at the
raises
same
his
time.
hands out of the vat and this expression of joy. We're all stupid.
Oh my god.
I like his enthusiasm. We're adopting him.
Do you need help getting out?
He leaps out of the vat
Why
onto
not?
the ground. No.
You're... As I kind of holster my gun, you're... Do you remember anything before being in there?
Yeah. No. I do remember seeing that person right there. And he just kind of points towards Renee as his hands, like his finger just kind of like just droopily points towards her, and he looks to you. She's due for an operation.
Wait,
I think.
just... Who told you that? Or... How do you know that?
Doctor.
Alright, who's the doctor then?
He's Jeez, I just saw him.
Wait, which door? As
While they're talking, are there documents laying around anywhere?
Yeah. On the table far away from where you are right now. There are. Oh, that took
Can I
Vincent.
run?
Don't take me.
Can I
They're
run
here.
and go look?
Yeah.
To see if I find names.
Jaws just kind of watches you go by. He points towards the door behind you, both you and Johnny. That way. The doctor is the doctor. I don't understand the question.
It's okay, Jaws. But as I look over at Johnny, just be ready. If you hear the door, get ready for a fight. As
Johnny just very nonchalantly just kind of walks towards the door, and he just posts up next to it. This is his back to one of the walls.
Alright. As I kind of make a remark, make sure it's not the side that slams in your face.
I just see him readjust himself.
You do. As he goes to the other side of the door, as it looks like it opens from that way. Maybe.
As I give him a thumbs up.
He gives you one too, and he looks back towards Shark Dude, and he just folds his arms. So, how long you been in there? Just out of curiosity. Um, Sharkman responds, that's a good question. What day is it? What
You
year
don't
is
know.
it?
I know the answer. I don't know a clock.
Ignore his responses. We don't. We can't tell time here.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, though. Something you all very much so remember is the year that you believe you're in, which is 4021.
Oh yeah, 4021. You know who keeps
Yes.
track
Damn
of
it!
years?
Not 420. No, I'm just kidding.
It ain't 420.
Blaze it.
You're not in the year 420. We haven't gone that far back in time.
Oh my God, there are dinosaurs everywhere.
And there's one behind.
They do move in
We
herds.
believe it's 4021.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
4021. Said that weird.
It is 4021, though.
I know,
Yes.
but I said 4021. So saying 4021.
Uh-huh. He looks. He puts a finger on his chin. And looks towards you. Oh. Okay.
What?
I don't actually know how long.
But
I thought the year was pretty sure it was the year 3000
you've been
and 21.
Damn it!
you've been there for 1,000 years, Jaws.
I guess.
Out of all the
And he just
numbers you
giggles.
you picked a common number that goes through every song.
Yes.
I mean, I look first at Zaleth and then I look at Johnny. We're adopting a 1,000-year-old shark.
Can we? Johnny looks towards you. Can we not just say we're adopting someone? I mean,
I'm
the
gonna
dude's
look
right
over
there.
to Shark Boy and be like, welcome to the circus.
I don't know what that is, but that sounds fun.
See, I like his enthusiasm. You're gonna be the lead from now on.
The lead what? What is the lead?
Exactly. It just means you get to stand in front,
Mm-hmm.
and if anything bad is trying to hurt us or you go for the throat.
Oh, the doctor taught me that.
See, you learned
Oh.
some. Wait a minute. As I sit a little bit on where Renee is, kind of like in the side of it, the corner, as I'm like, wait. So this doctor, has he been with you for 1,000 years?
He looks up and he looks back to you. Yeah, I guess. I've known him since the first time I opened my eyes to right now.
And he taught you to speak to. Can you read? Can you.
Yeah,
As something
Read.
starts ticking.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're having a conversation right now.
Valid
Dang.
point.
Spell apple.
Hey, that's about it.
So that's a no.
he in a very mocking tone. P-L-E.
Oh my God, you and him are gonna get along so well.
This is why we're adopting him. That and also, second question. So, are you and the doctor close?
I guess. It's basically taught me everything that I know.
But then why would he keep you in a vat full of with other people that are I look at the others. Do you know anything about the others?
Well, of course. They're
Specifically the one with
experiments
the
like me.
tattoo?
Wait,
Yeah, they're all experiments like me. I'm an experiment.
626?
I'm
What?
gonna look at him
Nothing.
and I'm
Don't
gonna
worry
point
about
at
it.
I'm gonna point at the one there. Did she come here willingly?
I don't really know. She was brought in by some folks.
Do you remember what they look like?
They're wearing these weird vests, I think. Yeah, no. They're like all decked out in armor and junk. And they came through. They brought her. Just threw her on that slab where your friend is.
So, another question that's been bothering me. Do they just... So, outside of them, have you seen, as I scratch my head a little, a more buff guy, and he carries around a big gun, and he's very loud, and he demands things, and he shoots the gun for no reason, sometimes even just for toilet paper?
Oh, you mean Beardy? I saw him once, but I haven't seen him in a while.
How long ago?
I don't know.
Did the Beardy bring the gentleman over there, as I point over to the corner where Morgan was?
He looks over to Morgan. That's new. As he looks, he was just kind of like a strange, like, piece of meat kind of deal at first, but now he's all, look at him. He's almost like me.
Wait, so you were
I-
originally a piece of meat like him?
I don't really know, but I know that when I saw him, he was missing everything he has right now, well, except from his head. I saw Beardy come in with his head, and then he gave it to the doctor, and the doctor just threw him right on in there, and then he poured something in. I don't remember what though.
Do the documents say?
The documents that you read, some of them are not you understand unless you.
What's language?
All right, so some of
Do
them,
you know if I? Huh?
some of them are in Sylvan.
Okay. Can't read that.
Okay. There is one that is written in. You're pretty sure?
I'll let you know what I can read. And I can it's common, abyssal, infernal, elven, and draconic.
There's one in Abyssal.
Is there one?
And then there's not one in Dwarven.
No.
There's one in all 5 races. No, I'm just kidding. Middle Earth. You see there are 2 ones written in the common tongue that all people speak, and one written in Abyssal and another written in Sylvan.
What do the ones that I can make out say?
So the one in Abyssal looks like it is a document, more so a list of ingredients. But as you look at it, the ingredients all have names like people names. And on there, you see a few that you're very familiar with. You definitely see Ursa's first and last name. It's one of the few times that you've seen her last name, as she usually just goes. So the majority of times that you've been around her. Only very rarely have you ever actually, heard her last name. But you see it down there. And you see a woman by the name of Susan. You at least you guess Susan. Maybe it's a man, maybe it's a guy, you see a Gary. And you see written right below Gary, it's Vincent's name. You see one Morgan Vrock.
Rock?
Vrock. V-Rock. Vrock.
Sounds like you're saying the
Vrock.
I know. It just sounded like you said the rock.
Oh, no, not
Dwayne
Dwayne.
The
You don't see
Rock.
Dwayne's name down there.
Okay, good. Whew.
And right below that, Dwayne, The Rock Johnson. You don't know why.
God
He's
damn
there,
it.
though.
Can you smell what the rock is cooking?
Maybe that's The Rock right there. In one of those vats. No,
Oh,
no, but you see underneath Morgan's Rock, you see your mother's name. You see one last name that, as you hear it, and it comes upon the paper, it's more readily just like echoing throughout your mind. You see your ex.
Oh.
The image in your head connects with the name. And you see his name down there. And there's a little set of checklists there. Morgan's obviously checked off. You see your mother's name checked off. You see Ursa's name checked off. And you see Gary's has a question mark next to it. And the more you hear the name, the more you really say the name. If you say it, say Gary.
Gary.
Uh,
Oh my
You-
god, we killed Gary.
you did kill Gary. The thought comes back, and you're just reminded. You killed Gary. That old man's dead. Yes, that's why there's
Is
a
this
question.
the
mark.
old man?
yes.
Yes.
Congratulations.
I'm
Vikkari.
kind of like mumble. God, we Gary.
You mumble Gary.
Gone with the
I
wind,
mumble.
Gary.
Oh my god, Gary.
Johnny just coughs. What'd you say?
Tell you about it right now. What does the common one say?
So the two common ones detail various points in time. The first one looks to be a period of time in which it looks like the date is the 1st of we'll just call it the second month, beginning of the beginning months. And you see that it details various things done to test subjects before you. In this entry, there looks to be a lot of them scattered around. Some are just missing, because it goes page by page, and you're looking at page 4 and 7 are the ones in common. 4 starts speaking about Mare. Not so much by name, more so the description. They all match from the way that you had last seen her. Mentions of how she was brought into the lab very hastily. The people who had brought her, no class apparently, notes perspective things. The person who was writing them goes on to mention how she was the most interesting subject, as her body reacted very, very uniquely to the entities that were injected into her, and the serum she was given. You see the name of the serum being simply known as fairy dust. Yeah, just called that. And it goes on to about how serum started to change her to the metallic shell that you see before you. How the entities within seem to be the only thing currently keeping her alive, as the serum at first reacted very, shearing off all of her fur. The skin paired itself into what you see in the tank. And it goes on, but most of the notes past that are just gruesome details about dissections. Various limbs would regrow. The page goes down, and it seems as though it's dated with segment. The days kind of skip around. First, it's on the 1st, and then it's on the 15th, and then it skips on to the 20th before it gets to 31st. And then the last note is that the patient is progressing perfectly. Soon she will be perfect. Soon she will be one of the first. And going to the next page, speaks on Morgan. The
Sakura, you think you cut out?
Wait, which part? Hold on a second.
Wait, which
You
part?
you're like, the next page is Morgan. That's it.
Gosh darn it. Well, basically, bearded fellow, whom he simply refers to as my old friend, seems to have brought me yet another very odd specimen. This one seems to have held on to life just enough for him to be administered into my care, enough for me to have swiftly moved him into one of the regenerative vats before he finally blinked out of together. Strong one, this one. I will have to administer something a bit different to this one. And it goes on to talk about the various attempts that this doctor seems to have tried on Morgan until eventually he found a parasitic entity that finally worked. Started restoring Morgan at a very alarming rate. But he needed something to stabilize him as his mutations started to overtake the host and caused a bit of a commotion. Had to replace a vat. Very naughty. The next segment looks to be several days after. Skips around to the doctor talking about how Morgan seems to be accommodating to the various doses of fairy dust that have been administered to his person to quiet down the parasite. With just a hint of very excessive sedation. He goes on to mention that soon this fellow will be a very, very nice addition, although still imperfect creature. Must study further, must enhance, must perfect. Perhaps if he fails to withstand all of my tests, I'll simply ask my old friend for another. He did mention that there was at least a couple more that were promising candidates. And if worse comes to worse, then I'll just feed him to the little. After all, they do share the same space. And it cuts to some form of breakthrough that it seems he managed to reach with Morgan. Very alarming success. The cells now repair themselves at a much quicker rate. It seems that instead of restoring, finally found a way to enhance this individual past his prior limits. And soon he too will join my latest subject in the realm of perfection. And it ends on that note.
Okay, so it mentioned who he calls Beardy, right?
Yeah, it just mentioned,
My captain.
yes, Vincent's captain. He just calls him the big bearded fellow, or his dear friend.
Yep.
This is just disgusting.
What did it say?
But grab the papers, turn around and face them. Beardy fellow, right? Big beardy fellow.
Yeah. What about him?
Seems he's been bringing people
Uh-huh.
to test on, like you.
Oh.
I'm
Well,
gonna turn to face Johnny, like Ursa, my mother, and that one. I'm gonna point at Mare.
he begins walking over to you. What? As he reaches for the paper very quickly. He just takes it and he looks at the one that you're holding, but he can't read it. He's just looking at it, looking through his. It's still an abyssal, the one that has the names on it.
I'm gonna just point to him and explain it. It's in Bizzle, so I explain it.
This, and he squeezes the paper.
And Rax. Duh.
And as you mentioned, Rex, he lets go. Paper drops. Oh. Maybe it was his fault after all. Maybe it was just mine. It all comes back to him, doesn't it?
What happened? Did I miss something?
You don't remember? As he
I
looks to
remember
you.
a ball.
Rax was the whole reason we were raiding that place. He was there with us. You remember him?
Raiding what?
The facility. That warehouse. That night.
It was just you, Saren and Mare. What are you talking about?
And Rax. As he looks to you confused.
I don't remember him. I'm sorry. I don't remember seeing him.
He was the one who got the attention of the guards when everything went wrong.
That was Saren.
No, Saren was way behind us, still trying to keep up.
What?
Are you okay?
I don't remember Rax.
Remember you yelled at him for almost blowing us up?
That was Saren.
No, me and Saren were way ahead before that explosion went off. He's the one who threw it. Oh, you expect Saren to throw some
That's why I
highly
got
explosive?
mad at him because I said I killed.
You got mad at Rax because that's what he always does when he just acts in the moment. He's more like Speedy than Speedy. You don't stop pulling my leg here. Come on. You're scaring me.
I'm gonna explain what I remember of that night and what I remember through the flashbacks of seeing.
His eyes go wide at you. What? So you don't remember him at all?
Just in the flashback of the picture.
There, and that... He was there the whole time, see?
I still have the picture, right?
Yeah. Of all of you in the desert on military.
But I'm a little at it.
And the figure there. Starting to come. Something's starting to come. But still, the more you look, you just see a stranger. Like there's a huge chunk of your memory that's just not there. At all.
I'm gonna turn it to him. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just how I remember it. It was just the four of us. Rax.
You... Huh. Maybe all of this really did more ordeal on you than I thought. As he just kind of... He takes a step back and he just kind of rubs his temple.
While he's thinking, I'm also gonna not look at Vincent, but I'm gonna pull out the comment that has Mark and send it to him without looking at him.
And It is. It is in common, Vincent. So you can read it and you see everything that I explained to Zaleth as far as what happened to Morgan.
I was examining it. I'm just. I head over slowly but surely as getting closer and closer until once at the end of the analysis of everything, I look up to him and I'm like, perfect fucking beings. Just like the shadow guy upstairs. As I drop the papers on the floor.
You all look so sad. What's wrong? As Josh just looks to all of you.
They hurt these people.
They changed them to what they label as perfect.
I'm gonna point to Marin. She didn't ask for this.
As I point
She didn't want this.
to Morgan, neither did he. He wanted to go out a blaze of glory, protecting myself and Renee right here. As I look over to Renee, Jaws, is there a way for you to remove that thing that's above her head without hurting her?
He cooks his head to the side. Maybe? I've seen the doctor do it a couple of times, so I know the procedure, kind of. You can try. That's all I can really say on it.
As I look,
But all of these, the doctor just helps people. He makes them better, like me. I mean, that's in the name, right? As he just walks over to her. But, if your friend doesn't want to be helped, then, you know, I'll help her get out of it, I guess. As he just goes to the little contraption. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was gonna like stay quiet, but I was gonna pass Johnny the other comment one that was about Mary.
He takes it and he just begins reading it, and you see him just kind of walk away with it, and he has his back turned as he reads it, and his hand just raised toward his beak, and he looks like he's just trying to vomit at the moment. As it seems he just reads on in silence.
I'm gonna look at Jaws. Does this look like it helps anyone?
I mean, they all came in terrible. Most of them were borderline dead before the doctor stepped in, and then he saved them. And now they're strong, like me. As he's fiddling with the mechanism still.
I get a little upset and I hit the glass a little. But did they give consent?
Well, some of them couldn't really give anything, as he points with his shoulder towards the individual in the capsule in front of you. They were just people that needed saving, right?
Joss, I look back. Your doctor, he might be doing it for other reasons than to help.
I'm gonna quote line that the doctor said about new additions and being the perfect first one. That isn't helping anyone. It's just not.
As I chime in, Jaws,
But
are you supposed to be the first perfect one?
well, I mean, he said I was the first person he helped. That he saved.
Or did he remove your memories of who you actually are?
He. And for a brief moment, as his hand stock still over Renee's headwear.
Oh,
Hello? Did you cut out or did you stay quiet?
Oh, no, I
was
just
trying to
stayed
do a
quiet.
roll.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
he
gonna be like that.
is trying to reassure himself. He's trying to convince himself. He goes, trying to take this thing off. No, he's been. You just don't know him like I do. I don't. Maybe those are someone else's documents. I mean, there are other people that come in here from time to time.
Jaws, you've lived 1,000 with him. You've been here for that long. You've slept here for that long.
This
Why
doesn't.
do you not remember your name then? What were you before you were a piece of meat like everyone else? Who are you?
I'm me. What you? I'm just. As he really tries to fight for a name now, and just as he tries to just cough one out. As he continues to very more feverishly, his hands are still very focused. He's working faster. He's trying to get something. See how long it takes him. Not too long.
Yes. I try to add something. Do you know? I know it's probably going to be hard to remember, but have you ever seen a woman that goes by the name Doyles?
A latch snaps. Just. And it, off comes the headgear. Just comes off, and you see with a little, device in them. Or in it. His hands squeeze onto the thing. Now, this is a very solid looking metal. Doesn't look like it really bends easily. And he starts bending it, and it bends, and it snaps. As he's stuck there in thought, staring blankly at the wall. And he looks down towards the mechanism in his hands. He looks over you. Yes.
Now, are you sure? As I slowly go up to him, pulling out a photo from my bag of the one that had Doyle's, Patrick, and Speedy, apparently, as I take out the photo and present it to him.
As he looks at it, that's no Doyle's I've seen. As he looks to you, looks down at the photo, and he begins explaining what she looks like, but for the sake of visual interpretation, because this is another one, it's really great, and it's one of the few times in which I get to use it, so I will. So as he's explained to you, and you get a better image of it, Vincent, that photo in your hand seems like it belongs to an entirely different. As you begin to see in your mind this little visual interpretation of what you're being described. This one, instead.
I get confused as I'm like, wait. Then
You hear violet hair draped over her back. Seems to almost move as if of some sort of constant wind. Various constellations decorate her face. Slivers of the moon, stars, eyes that glowed with this very sharp yellow, and a serious expression that never changed. Never a smile, never a frown, never a face of fury. Just flat, focused, serious.
I was thinking about.
I don't know how to pronounce the name. I was gonna call her an Asmar. How do you pronounce the name?
Azamar?
Azamar.
Any Azamar?
Yeah. From how she's being explained. And as he explains this way that Chippertune takes a turn. And Maury searches for a name. Maury squeezes on the remnants of metal. You see him. It looks as though it's on the tip of his tongue. It's just he's trying to force it out at this point. You see various little veins on his head start to flex outwards as he's really trying at this, and he looks much more aggressive than before. Much more like a shark than before, if you would.
As I look at him and I'm like, Jaws, are you alright?
And he looks up to you. And a name at first is whispered. And he tries at it again. His first is just... And then he says it again. And it comes up louder this time. As he says it more so with this look of absolute aggravation on his face.
As I just watch.
My name is Hold.
As wait, what?
Holt or hold? Like you
Holt.
hold someone?
Like Holt?
No, not Hold. Holt.
Oh. Okay.
Holt.
Wait, your name? As I point at him.
Yes.
So, you remember?
Fragments. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I was about to adopt you as basically a Pokemon. So. A little sad about that,
Thanks. I as he lets go of the metal bars or the mechanism itself as it kind of clinks. Whatever it was before and whatever it was used for, totally inoperable now.
but scrap metal.
Yeah. As he looks towards that, looks towards the table where Nate lies, looks around the room. You're pretty sure if Renee wasn't on that thing would have been flipped towards the table that Zayl is next to at the
Oh my god, I would have died.
Probably with you out of the way. You probably would have been out of the way
Oh.
very quickly. Because you would have seen it come. And his body language and the way that his eyes look at the table indicate to the two of you that that's probably what his intentions were in just an instant. As he looks
I was
back.
gonna say I was gonna walk over to Mare. It's a good thing Renee's on it.
It is. But for the table or for Renee, you don't know. He looks towards the lot of you. And he just begins. You ever get that feeling? You start to slowly realize everything that you've known.
Known about what? Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, he said, did you ever get that feeling where everything that you thought you knew was a lie?
Join the bandwagon.
I pat my hand on his shoulder. You are officially a part of the party.
I don't like this kind of party.
It sucks. Trust me. As
No
I
one
point
wanted
over.
this.
I point over to the vat where Morgan is. He blew himself up thinking we were stopping a monster. Ended up being a giant fucking robot. And my captain, or Beardy as you called him, kinda was part of this. Kinda, even though he threw him over there just because his giant robot was able to save a piece of him like it was a piece of candy. And yeah, you can get the idea how we feel.
I don't know how much of my life that man has stolen. I think I very much get how I don't even entirely remember who I am. As he his voice is more broken and his tone of anger hasn't shifted. It just seems more of a depressing kind of anger.
Well, it's better to rip off the band-aid now instead of flipping tables with innocent women on them.
Oh, there's a band-aid I want to rip off. It has a name attached to it.
But what's the doctor's name, anyways?
That man isn't a doctor. He's more of a monster than any person in this room currently. No offense meant, as he looks towards a lot of you.
I kind of just shrug. I'm like, I'm just red.
I shrug too. Don't worry. I've shot goblins in the kneecaps because I wanted to intimidate people. That's fine.
He just looks to you like you're speaking a foreign language.
Hey, Shark. I mean, I got a question for you.
Calm Holtz, please give him some respect.
I did. I said Shark, and then I said Holtz.
Ask away.
Are they aggressive? I'm gonna point at like Mare specifically.
He looks to you very earnestly. And he shrugs. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, Sakura, I have a proposition for you.
Oh my god. Swear to God.
But
Proposition away.
I need to know how thick that glass is. I'm not breaking it if that's what you think. I heard your sigh.
You want to know how to fix glasses?
No, I want to see if I can use message through the glass.
I mean, I'm fairly certain the individual may have to be conscious, but you can try.
I mean, she was technically conscious for a second.
She was.
Because I wanted to like walk over and like touch the glass and just call her name and I don't know, hope her mumbling comes back to me.
Just tap the glass and wake up the fishes. Blub, 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 blub.
Because I mean, you can whisper as you receive whispered replies, but I don't know if that really works for unconscious people.
Come on down to how to wake things up.
So what was your message to her?
I was just gonna ask her if she, like, Mary, can you hear me? And just see if I can hear her mumbling.
So the response you get back.
You just tap the glass while you're doing it. Toop, toop, toop. Can you hear me? Is this
I'm speaking in your mind. Stand. So the response you get back is a very loud shouting voice, very metallic in the way that it comes out, very distorted, like it's over a radio. And it's just help. But it sounded in a way that you're not entirely sure of the motive behind it. But that's the only thing that you got back in response. As Johnny, who was off in the corner, finally drops the paper, lets it fall on the ground, and he walks up.
The clock's eliminates.
Only if you consider Renee eliminates. Only if you consider. Gosh darn it.
Good.
And he picks up Renee, and he looks to you, Vincent. We're getting out of here. We're getting her out of here. We're getting back up those stairs. I don't even know if we'll be able to, but we are. However, we are. And once Renee wakes up, and she's back in okay condition, I'm gonna find this doctor, as he looks over to Holt. And I don't know if you'll get to him first. I honestly don't. But I'm going to kill that man. As he just looks towards the both of you with just the most serious of stares. And we're gonna free these people. We have to. They don't deserve this. Any of it. Especially those two. Especially Mare. What this sick, twisted... And he just kind of stops himself. He just... The world would thank us for his passing. And he just while holding Renee, he ushers towards the door that was closest to the ladder. We should try and find out which one of these doors lets us out.
Real quick, I just walk up to the thing. Real quick. Still need to finish something.
Have to make sure I write arcane marks so I don't forget that I labeled her. Oh my god, I treat her like an actual animal. So sorry, Mayor.
You're okay with being apologetic, but whenever it comes down to Johnny, oh, you're a tool.
Listen, Mary was like, wanted to learn magic. I was her Darth Vader to her Luke Skywalker. So
You mean Obi-Wan to your Luke?
No, because you missed the back thing where I told her I was her father in Darth Vader tone.
Gosh darn it. Well, point still stands. I was trying to at least say... Hold. Is there a way to at least kill anything within these tubes?
He looks towards you and he motions with his hands. I mean... I've done stranger things at the doctor's request. I know that much.
Well, I just need to make sure. Yes. I give...
He walks over towards the chemical stand next to you, or the chemical shelf next to you. One of these will definitely end it. Whatever's inside all of us, as he motions to himself in the various vat. There's something that kills what's in.
So basically, a quote-unquote antidote to those things. But does it kill the host?
I don't know. I've always been under whenever the doctor was administering it.
Well, time to at least start an experiment now than later.
He points towards three that he thinks are the ones. And you see one looks like a swirling series of things. It looks like a tornado in a bottle. In liquid form. And it's in a triangular tube. Mm-hmm. There is another one in a more rounded one that is glowing a very light blue. Almost blinding. And there is a third one that has a very inky blackness to it, and what looks like a kind of like a vial in the way that it's shaped.
As I look at the three of them, and I'm like, obviously, with how mad scientists work, black one's the whole thing. Swirly thing is a possible other thing. And then the blue one, cheesy as it sounds as I take it. Well, trust in my gut.
You can pour it in there?
I'm killing my partner, or I'm going to at least break the damn thing and shoot his dead corpse.
Or, start another fight, a final fight. Okay, so if you, you realize that the vat itself is sealed from top to bottom. So in order to get in, there looks to be, if you climb up the ladder and you go into the top rung,
How thick is the glass?
pretty thick.
Fuck. Stupid.
Like when you
Bullet.
banged on it, that
Dummy
thing just
thick.
kind of. Yes, it's dummy thick. Stop it.
Can't
Stop.
believe we actually said it.
I'm so upset with myself and the both of you, but it is fairly. Stop it, you kindergarten. It's
This is what happens when Vic's not here.
gosh darn it. It's so much. Anyhow, it when you smash your fist against it, it kind of reverberated.
Did that make him wiggle or move at all?
Not a thing. He's been completely stasis.
As I look over to Holly again, is there a way to pop it open so I can drop this?
I mean, Holt just walks over to you. If you want me to pop it, I can pop it. As he crawls up the side of it
Mhm.
and brings down one of his arms over the thing.
I'm gonna mumble under my breath, oh good, and I'll meet you.
As I just go. Tss. Stop it. We actually have a smarter one.
That's not nice to say about John. Very smart.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I just hear you whispering over there.
No,
Shut
I
up.
actually yelled that out. What are you talking about John? Very smart.
As I yell back, it's not nice to also say say things about our new friend that's going to be super useful.
I'm
As a-
insinuating they both punch things.
See, you assumed.
I
You
mean,
assumed. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. That's rude.
you don't know what all he could have done. It's just what the methods he tried. And succeeded in. The thing smashed very easily. It caved in. Little shards of glass smash in, and they drop, pitter patter into the seal. And you can see him pry the better part of the capsule off, and he puts it on the top rung. And he motions with a hand. Johnny has just, as hearing your shouts, maybe he didn't hear them because he's just
Roll for deception.
holding. No, you're shouting. It's very hard not to.
Listen, he's very upset, and he's holding papers, and he's like...
He's not holding papers. He's holding Renee.
Oh, he's holding Renee. He's thinking about life right now. You know, he could have been like, man, I got set up. This is ridiculous. Why am I the Pacquiao right now? This is bullshit.
He is.
Okay,
There's
while
a lot of things.
they're doing that, I'm gonna turn to Johnny, who is, awake and conscious at work.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna use a message and like, what if they, Saren and the others? And he's allowed to whisper back if he so chooses to.
He does. Then we'll save them too.
They'll float too.
I have a very important question to ask you, Sakura.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my ball?
Oh my god, that was the one thing you waited for the longest.
I did.
And you'll have to find out next time.
My poor ball. It's just
Yes.
crying in the corner.
As there's a reaction in the tank with Morgan.
Oh god, we're gonna die.
Listen, if I chose right and not the obvious bad thing, I'm giving him a proper grave. Alright, listen.
I'm just
They-
thinking of all
they
the
just
crazy
seem
things.
like they're all obvious bad things.
Listen.
They are all
it's
obvious
Resident
bad
Evil
things.
logic. My character's like, hey, what we've already seen so far is like gooey black stuff, so I'm not fucking with anything with gooey black stuff.
I could have had you roll me a good old fashioned D100, but I was like, nah, I'll just
Oh,
let your
God.
judgment be the guide.
And I did.
You did, and I'm proud of you.
I'm mad because you probably set me up.
Man, it's getting easy now.
I hate you.
It's getting...
I just don't want to stick with it. Okay, listen. I would assume that you'd think that I would think I would go with
I am
at least the tornado one, because the
terrified
tornadoes
of
are
what's
cool.
gonna happen.
You would assume that I would think anything past. I just want to screw with them. So I just want to make it a conundrum. And I did. And you chose. And it's wonderful. And you'll find out next time.
I swear to God.
I am terrified, and I decided, you know what? I am busy that day.
Guess what? Mazel tov.
And
We get a to be continued with a knocked out Renee. How do you
Mazel
feel?
tov.
yes. And it's so
Wow.
much fun because we're so many crazy things.
Yeah.
It's like
Good,
a
'cause
fiesta
I'm losing
of badness.
consciousness. My eyesight
Yes.
is blurry. Yay!
Sleep is needed.
Yeah, that.
Gosh darn it. But yeah, you will find out what happened to your ball. You will find out what you did, Oregon. And we'll all sing cha la 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 la.
So Birthmas?
No,
Birthmas.
it's dead to me.
It'll never be
Mazel
dead!
tov.
That's not my birthmas. Dang it.
I'm tired.
Good day night, as it is 5 a.m. in the morning.
It's 4. It's 3 for blank. Did I guess that right? I don't
Yeah.
know what time it is.
I've cut a lot of
It's like
things,
the battle station.
and I just felt like, hey, I didn't have to have you all fight something. This was one of the
We technically
longest,
get a little
shortest
side
ones.
mission.
Just a little one.
Yeah, we need more. More stuff.
There will be more. Oh boy, come 2 weeks from now. Unless Vic decides that she's still gonna hold off on vampires.
Well, we shall see.
We shall see. Gosh, darn it, Vincent.
Yay! Christmas.
Hey, this is an unexpected duet. Very upset and happy at the same time.
Happy Box Day.
Happy Box Day. Here in the city of Adam.
In the city.
I don't know what Box Day is. I assumed we just like make cardboard boxes of.
We just pick up boxes and throw them at each other. What do you mean? Happy Box Day.
Yay! And then you punch a person right through the box with a boxing glove.
Yeah, I mean Box Day.
Sock 'em, bop 'em.
Taco waffles.
No,
Now it's your turn.
no, I choose not to.
Yeah.